The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Don't wait for an AC breakdown this summer. Get a free in-home estimate with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Schedule your appointment today at standardheating.com.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93
Take Your Dog to Work Day event is celebrated every year on the Friday following Father's Day.
Hey guys, you ready to let the dogs out?
Yeah, I love my dogs. I love like dogs or like lions or something, but I knew I couldn't get no lions because I ain't got the house for it.
When Ellen died, I lost everything until that dog arrived on my doorstep. An opportunity to grieve unalone. And your son took that from me. Killed that from me! So you can either hand over your son, or you can die screaming alongside him!
The average dog will stand between 15 and 16 inches at the withers. Bitches should be slightly smaller.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, missionary, doggy.
The weekend.
Did anybody bring a dog in today for Bring Your Dog to Work Day?
No, I really wanted to.
Good, I hate dogs.
You love dogs. Wait, that's right, you don't like dogs anymore. You're a cat guy.
I'm glad there aren't any dogs in here on Bring Your Dog to Work Day.
I was going to bring my new dog in. I want you guys to meet the new dog. And I'd love to bring in my older dog, but he can't get in the vehicle anymore. He's too old, and it's too tough for him.
What'd you say about my dad?
But I'm going to be hanging out with one of our coworkers today in Swiftiapolis after this. Nothing I could do with the dog. No place to bring him.
Don't worry about it, Cubby. I'm glad there are no dogs here. Dogs are like Karens. They think they're entitled to everything.
Depends on the dog.
Ashley's one of those dog girls.
She sure is.
I absolutely love my dogs. Yep.
I mean, if we're going to bust people's chops for being horse girls, isn't that a thing?
Yes.
I mean, I've read some jokes on our text message over the years. They sprinkle in from time to time someone saying something or another about a horse girl. I don't meet a lot of horse owners, but I've met lots of dog girls in my life where their favorite thing in the entire world is their dog. Their second favorite thing, any other dog on planet Earth.
Yep.
Yeah.
They can be conversation starters. I mean, people, it seems like, well, I can tell you this. I don't know all my neighbors, but I know all the dogs in the neighborhood. When you walk in, you meet the dog, you're like, oh yeah, they got Marty over there. Sure, I know that place. Wait, which ones are there? Are they the ones with Snickers? Yeah, okay, I know who they are.
I hear you.
That is so true. I never realized that before.
I know people by their dogs.
My girlfriend said that she doesn't care about people too much, but she loves dogs. Don't F with dogs.
Yep.
No, you're right. And think about when you watch movies. Somebody dies, don't blink an eye. Dog dies, this movie sucks.
Yep.
F this movie.
Yep.
There's like 100,000 people that die in the movie, and one dog gets injured, and you're like, oh, worst movie ever.
And it kind of seems like movie makers know this. There's obviously, I played a clip from John Wick, and the dog dies, sadly.
Oh.
John Wick does get his revenge over and over and over, as he should. But when the dog dies, it's big news.
Yeah,
you should know a dog does die in the movie, just to warn you ahead of time.
Movie makers are well aware of that, absolutely.
with that John Wick movie, I've never really been too into those movies. Just a lot of action for me. And,
you gotta see them; they're excellent.
I'm kind of tired of Nick talking about them.
I know. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Go right ahead.
When it started with, because that's how it starts. You're 5 minutes into the movie, and that's how it starts. Is the dog dies?
Is that right? Okay.
The whole time, anytime he killed somebody, I'm just, it's for the dog. That's what you get.
Yeah, you're a dog girl.
Yep.
It is true. The hundreds of people he kills over 4 movies, they all deserve it.
Yes, they do.
They definitely all deserve it.
Have you ever gained a nickname in your lifetime for your dog lust?
No.
Fair enough. It just came to mind because maybe you had to be there, but a buddy of mine was seeing a girl for a while. And she was one of these, all she talked about was her dogs, all she cared. So my buddy and his friends nicknamed her Dogs, Dogs, Dogs. And the best part about that nickname is they had to say it exactly that way whenever they referenced her.
That's great.
So you can imagine in certain conversations it sounded really funny. You were saying, Josh?
I oftentimes we like to annoy people, and I think I'm going to start referring to my dogs as my fur babies. And I'm not going to drop it.
Yeah,
no matter the
people
look
hate
I
that.
get, it is. I don't like it either. But from now on, they're going to be my fur babies. Like I told you guys, so I'm going to be seeing my dog today, and I know he's your dog too. A coworker of ours, unfortunately, he's going to be leaving, and in his absence, he will be bringing a great evil back into this building as far as a former coworker goes. But I was bummed to hear our friend James, the program director of KQ, he's going to be leaving us, one of my all-time favorite people.
He is going to be moving on. Yes, you're getting together with James.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get the dirt. It's why he would leave us. Now I hate his guts now. I mean, why would he abandon us like that?
I thought we had a deal.
We did, and I'm going to enact this deal. We told our boss, our direct superior, Derek, and James, if they ever leave us, one of two things will happen. We will murder them, or we will get them canceled by spreading a rumor, and they'll never be able to be hired ever again.
Right.
Because sometimes that's all it takes.
Despite that deal.
It's just an allegation.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, absolutely. Many times it's just an allegation, and that's enough to crush somebody's career. James is leaving us despite the deal that we made. Ballsy move on his part. It's too bad. And I love the fact that you mentioned his exit from the building is bringing an evil...
a great evil back into our building.
Through his exit,
yes,
he will be then bringing back...
He's leaving a portal to hell open.
Well, we'll get back to you on what that means. It's inside stuff. It's industry stuff you people wouldn't understand.
You people.
We'll explain that later. But yet, his leaving is bringing an evil back. No Dana today. He's off out of town for a family function, so... We can pretty much say anything we want about Bruce Springsteen, Mario Kart, and the Fast and Furious movie series.
Nobody here to defend it.
Without anybody crying up and down.
Headbands are so dumb.
I was actually considered walking. So in our setup, Nick and I share a studio, and there's a window between our studio and the main studio, which has Ashley, Wapple, and Dana on a daily basis.
Hi.
I thought about stopping in there and just kind of rattling off some of Dana's passions, so you guys wouldn't be too sad that he's been in his stead. I thought I could come in there but I'd have to stand on something like a chair just to reach his height.
Jesus Christ.
We can find a box.
You think so?
Yeah.
We got to clear something up right away.
Show you a box. What's that?
We got to clear something right away. You mentioned that this schmuck down the hall, James,
our former friend,
who's worked here for a stretch of time, he's leaving. We really like the guy. He did bring like a certain light.
Yeah, he's one of the best guys I've ever met.
One of the best people we've ever had in the building. He brought a certain light into the darkness. Just that's the kind of guy he is. We're going to miss him. And you mentioned that his exiting is in turn going to bring a great evil back to the building. Just looking at text messages, I got to squash this right away. No, it's not Ross.
Oh, I never even considered
gosh,
that. No, this is well, anyways.
It's not
Ross.
No. Forget that. To get that out of your mind. It's not friggin' Ross. Back to dogs real quick. There is somebody or another, dog girl Ashley.
Yeah.
There is somebody or another out there who's willing to pay you $127,000 a year to look after they dogs.
Oh, okay. Easy. Anything's easier than a dog that eats their own foot.
You definitely have experience with that.
This is a billionaire. He is an American, but he's based in the awful, awful United Kingdom. He's looking for a new dog nanny. And he'll go ahead and hand you $127,000 a year. But you'd have to move to the UK. Is that something you would consider for that amount of money?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's a lot of.
You have to be cool with traveling the world on their dime every now and then.
What? Okay.
On them.
See, for me, that's a negative.
Absolutely. Well,
awesome.
You lost me at UK, No chance I'm leaving town not to take care of some dogs. Hundreds of people have already applied, according to what I'm reading, so you might want to get on that. If you want to look it up, it's on some kind of a staffing site called Fairfax and Kensington. Sounds pretty English.
It's already done.
Oh, it's
they got, since he made the announcement, almost instantaneously, they got over 2,000 applicants, so they shut it down right away.
Well, then F me running sideways. Just in case you were still curious about what this was all about, the family has 2 dogs that require top-tier care and must be treated like valued members of the family.
All right.
You'd have to live there. You have to stay in their mansion.
Oh, darn.
Well, some sort of a guest house, maybe. Maybe it would be garbage, but, you'd be on their property. You'd need to coordinate all their vet appointments, keep detailed records of their health and medical history, and develop a, quote, personalized exercise regimen for each dog. Accompany them on domestic and international trips. You'd have to find a hotel that, takes dogs. You'd have to organize play dates with other dogs. And find, quote, enriching activities to stimulate their senses. Let me just show them a pile of some other dog's turds. You know what I mean? I don't know how far they want to take it, but they call it enriching activities to stimulate their senses. Oh, feeding them, bathing them. The ideal candidate has lots of experience with dogs, preferably other rich people's dogs. Well, Josh says the gig is already filled.
Yeah, Fairfax and Kensington, the staffing site, had said they place some veterinarians who don't make that much money.
I'm sorry, what did they say?
They place veterinarians that don't make that much money, $127,000.
Man.
But this dog babysitter is going to make that much.
You'd have to work weekends, holidays. Yes, Wapple.
It was kind of funny that they said you have to schedule all their vet appointments. Like, it makes it sound so bad. But how many times do you really bring your dog to the vet?
Well,
yeah, true.
Don't you really just bring them if they're sick?
Well, yeah, but Wapple, how many times you bring your dog to the vet is probably very different than how many times rich douchebags bring their dog to the vet.
Yeah.
The kind of people that would hand you $127,000 to take care of their dogs have probably a very different idea, as we've already heard, how to take care of a dog. This sounds like one long nightmare to me.
Do you guys have someone in your life who really pampers their dog? I mean, maybe I shouldn't say the extreme. I don't mean to be insulting, but more than the average dog.
Not really, no.
No.
I mean, I know a couple people who refuse to, by a couple, it's one. I don't know why I said a couple. One person who refuses to feed regular dog food. They cook their own on a daily basis.
I have a buddy that does that.
Cooks their own.
I tried doing that.
I don't even cook for myself, let alone a dog.
I don't either. And then they take their dog to a dog acupuncturist.
What?
They have seen a dog therapist.
A dog masseuse?
A dog I guess I don't know. I bet.
Get some muscle tension out.
Yeah.
A dog therapist, you said?
Yeah, dog
that what you
therapist,
said?
yeah. Like a behaviorist.
Fascinating.
If I were these rich people, which I am definitely not, I wouldn't want to pay somebody to look after my dog that much because my dog would love them more.
Is that what you think?
If they're constantly with them, they're the one that's their biggest companion. That's not even your dog anymore.
That's their dog?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's your dog.
Speaking of dog-related gigs here on Bring Your Dog to Work Day, I was reading about some different kind of jobs that you might not have heard about. A dog food taster. A dog food taster. And they don't hire a dog, they hire a human being, apparently. Dog food taster.
Well, how else would you know it's a porterhouse over a filet mignon?
Good question.
You have to eat it.
What the hell are you talking about?
Dog food.
What about dog food? What does that have to do with a porterhouse and a filet mignon?
You know how they put the label of a porterhouse or a filet mignon, so you have to taste them, see which one's which, so you can put the label on.
Yeah, that's true, because it's not like the dog is like, oh, yeah, that tastes like steak.
That's totally a porterhouse.
This is chicken, you liar.
A dog food tester's responsibility is to sit and taste new dog food products.
Barf.
God dang.
Tattooed.
You have to put dog bones in your mouth. They list bones as one of the. You got to sit there and suck on a bone. You're a human being, for Christ's sake.
I've tried some dog food. Have you guys tried a pupperoni? Oh, actually, I've seen you do it. Yeah, Wapple, I've seen you do it.
Yeah, we were trying the best dog treats.
Yeah, begging strips.
Yes.
Tried those.
Yeah, those were not where it was at.
Yeah, they smell so good, but
they
taste
do
so bad.
Yeah, it's false advertising.
Yeah.
Decades
Peanut butter
ago,
cookies, though.
decades ago, I took a bite out of a pupperoni, and it didn't have the same effect on me that it has on the dogs in the television commercials. Oh, it was rough.
But those peanut butter dog treats that you can get at Cub, those taste really good.
Oh, I'm sure they do. Yeah.
Have you had canned dog food?
No.
The slimy stuff.
Oh, no.
I tried it. I thought it looked kind of good.
What?
It's not good at all.
Dude.
The Mall of America used to, well, maybe it's still there. I guess I don't remember seeing it in a while. But they had a kiosk that was like the world's fanciest bakery for dog treats.
Ooh.
And when my stepdaughter was real little, I thought I'd prank her with one. You know, we have prank wars, so I got one. And it's like, oh, would you like a delicious, just normal human cookie?
It was a cookie, okay.
Yeah. And so she was maybe 7, and she bit into it and immediately realized it wasn't a normal cookie. And I'm like, ha, 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 it's a dog treat. And out of spite, she ate the whole thing.
Oh.
All right, F you, old man.
But when did you taste canned dog food? You just
Oh,
put
this is high school.
Yeah?
We were just kind of running through some dares.
Yeah.
But I did mix in the film on top, you know, the whatever that sauce is
the
on.
gravy.
Oh, my gosh,
Yeah.
my stomach hurt.
Yeah, like the gluten, the gluttonous part.
Just
whatever.
the thick snag on the top of that.
It's like a gravy.
Yeah.
Tattooed Mike Jesus has a German Shepherd trained for his epilepsy. It is crazy. I've got a dog story coming up in the news today, but it is crazy how some of these dogs that can smell cancer, or they can, like anxiety dogs that can help you out.
That is unbelievable.
My dog can, my dog Widow, she can tell if I'm like stressed out or like I'm gonna cry, something like that.
Oh yeah, dogs can sense that thing.
It's just like the tone of my voice, and she'll come up and just like lay on my chest and try to distract me.
So does Minnow, my cat.
Dude,
Oh,
cool.
she loves doing that.
So if you're a dog food tester, like I said, you're going to have to sit there and taste dog bones, taste the canned meat, the canned food, like Josh was just saying. Jesus, do they... I mean, I don't know anything about this kind of thing, but would they have some kind of super health insurance? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's funny. Is that relatively new within the last few years, pet insurance?
Pet insurance.
I don't know.
I've heard of it, but I don't know if I
know a couple people who have had it, and they one person has never used it. The other person said it basically saved them from declaring bankruptcy.
That's what my girlfriend did. She's done it now twice on her dogs, and one of them she got huge discounts on diabetes medication and stuff for the dogs.
Really?
Yep.
Bubba Man Jesus said, my daughter dog sits for people in their homes. She makes enough money to where she quit her regular job. Dog and cat owners will pay quite a bit of money. Well, yeah, it's a big business, right? I mean, for some of these companies.
Yeah, if I ever had to pay somebody to watch my dogs, I would definitely overpay them.
More anxiety than hair. Jesus said, Wapple's mom likes to taste bones, Dana said.
Dana? Dude.
He's not even here.
Yeah, that wasn't nice.
don't think I could handle the gig, dog food taster. You test for flavor and texture in comparison to rival dog food brands and human food. You have to sit there and compare these different dog foods to human food. There's no comparison.
No.
Every day I'd say, the human food, pretty good. Dog food, sucks eggs.
I've
Although
seen
I
some of
gotta
those
say-
dog walkers. Well, they'll get like 7, 8 dogs walking around.
That's impressive. That's too much. I'd get way overstimulated.
A few people are texting in saying, didn't I almost get killed over a can of dog food? I don't want to tell that story again, but the answer is yes. Thank you for listening for all this time, that you still remember the story of me almost being murdered on the streets of Minneapolis over a can of dog food. But
To when Shiza said, I dropped almost $1,000 on my dog in the month of June. Allergies. He has a dermatologist, even. Shout out to McKeever Dermatology, she said.
The vet bills are crazy. If you have to treat your dog for something special, yeah, it's wildly expensive. But
I ran up some credit card debt to save a couple of cats. My girlfriend at the time had a couple of cats, and they ate some stoppers, like like a door stopper.
Sure, the
little rubber end to the springy deal.
A cat ate one of those?
Two of them. Two cats ate them, and they both had to have surgery.
Oh.
To remove them, and that was not cheap.
Nope.
I think that took me about 2 years to pay off.
Interesting. It is very, very expensive to just own a dog, feed it, cats too. Feed it, keep it healthy. And then if you find yourself in a situation where you need to save its life, that price skyrockets, but more often than not, it's worth it. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
if you can, that's the tough part. If you can't afford it, that's got to be pretty miserable. And I could see why. Some of those, like, I forgot which one of you said it, but you're right. Some of those vet bills are insane.
They didn't make me pay him a dime over at the veterinarian when they killed my dog and then brought it back to life.
Oof.
They didn't charge me for that.
Good.
That was one of the most fascinating hours of my life.
Oh gosh, I'd be walking in there ready to break necks.
Well, come on, no, you wouldn't, because
If they killed my dog, absolutely. I would
gotta
not
understand
be
the
without
situation.
Screaming.
Well, the dog was 17 or 18 years old. All right, and it was an honest mistake.
You did yell at him though, didn't you? Or is that a different dog?
No, that was when Megan Marie got put to sleep. I yelled at the vet because she put when we were putting Megan Marie down. The best girl in the whole world. And when they put the needle in her, she whined. And I'd never heard Megan Marie in pain before. And I hated that because she was the best girl in the whole world. And I flipped out at the vet. And it wasn't the real deal night-night shot. It was the setup shot. You following how that works?
Yep.
So they're like, well, here's just a sedative. And they put the needle in her and she went, oh, right?
Oh.
And I flipped out. This is 25 years ago. You dumb son of a bitch. You hurt my dog. I flipped out. I felt like a complete prick, later. Because it was an honest mistake. But the story of my dog dying and then coming back to life, I didn't flip out. Because this dog was blind, deaf. He didn't know who the hell he was anymore. We went in for some... Well, number one, it was partially my fault. They sent me some email saying your dog is due for some shots. What I should have said was, this damn thing's 17 years old. He's due for nothing other than death.
True.
But I just was, on cruise control like we get. Oh, here's my dog. Give it whatever shots it needs. It was stupid on my part. I should have said, this thing doesn't need any shots. Look at him.
That's got to be tough to... Well, I've never seen that.
Dude, it was crazy.
I mean, the dogs that we've had just died at home, of old age.
Right.
And except for one, which was tragic, and it was a surprise. We had to bring her we came home from, this was right before day before the world shut down for the pandemic. And I think we were at the car show, and we come home, and she's acting really weird, and she's usually real hyper, especially when you come home, and she was acting weird. And so the kid's at home, so my wife's like, I'll just bring her to the vet just to be safe. And then they had to put her down. She had something called bloat. Her stomach flipped up, and she was an old dog. And
that stuff happens so often.
And yeah, I was shocked, and I was miserable that I didn't go with. My wife was bawling after she called me. She's like, what do we do? Because the vet's like, we could do a surgery, but she's not going to survive, and it's just going to torture her, really.
I know so many people whose dogs have died in that same fashion, where their stomach just kind of goes weepity deep, and that's the end of that.
And I didn't even get to say goodbye. I mean, I thought, well, she'll be back tonight and she'll be fine. And then to add to it, my wife's brakes went out on her way home at 2 in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they went out.
Someone's looking to kill our entire family.
Yeah.
I almost lost both my bitches in the same night.
Oh. So back to this situation where the dog died in my arms. So I turned him in to get these shots, and it was dumb. Like I said, I should have turned it down in the first place. Yeah, whatever. You know how that stuff goes. 10 minutes go by. And they bring me back the little dog, the Ozman was his name. And he's a little dachshund, so I'm carrying him like a football, and I'm walking up to the desk to pay. And as I'm paying for these shots, all of a sudden, it felt like I had a wet towel over my forearm. And he was just, wow. Eyes rolled up in the back of the head. And I remember looking at the, the receptionist, and I pointed at the dog, and I said, this doesn't look right. And she shot out of her chair.
Oh, no.
And she ran to get the vet who had just treated the dog. And he comes out, and he sees this wet rag with a tongue and a tail and grabs him from me, and they go racing into the back. And honestly, Ashley, because of his age, I didn't really barely react at all. I just kind of told myself, well, that's the end of that one. I really did, because if it would have been a 2-year-old dog, it would have been totally different. But this dog was older than the hills. So, I don't know, another 10 minutes go by, and here comes the vet, and he is shaking, and he has tears in his eyes, and he says, I'm so sorry. I gave him a shot that I shouldn't have, but I've just given him a shot of adrenaline to his chest, and it looks like he's responding. I think he's going to be okay. And they said, yeah, we might want to hang on to him for a couple hours. I said, yeah, go ahead. Give me a call when everything's all right. A couple hours later, they called me. I took him home. He acted like nothing happened.
He was completely fine?
20 minutes later, he died. No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
He lived another, I don't know, maybe lived another year and a half. Or he was 19 stinking years old.
Pretty good.
Yeah. That was one adventure that I'll never forget.
I was just thinking, it's amazing how long he lived.
Oh, damn.
And it's because he consumed the blood of the young. That's got him when he ate my stepdaughter's face.
Oh, it was the blood of the young.
I think that must be it. That's what kept him so young so long.
He did try to eat an 11-year-old. How old was she? 9, 10, 11?
So this would have been 2000. Again, the math on this show can be difficult.
It's brutal.
This was 2008, and she's 21 now. So what does that mean?
Oh, damn. That's a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't know.
You heard us try. If you were listening yesterday,
I'm not even going to try.
Yeah, you heard us try to do arithmetic, and we failed terribly. That's a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
You know, one of the most fun gimmicks over this had to have been within the last year, was when we had our listeners just send us pictures of their pets.
That was fun.
And tell us their names. I loved that so much. We're at 651-989-9393. If you didn't get to us last time, hell, it's Bring Your Dog to Work Day. Why not do it again? If you got a spare minute, send us a text to your dog, your cat, whatever.
And a few people already have. It's put a smile on my face. Yeah, go through. You'll see a few of them.
Yes,
really
I love
like
that. I want all the pictures.
We were talking about how expensive it can be to be a pet owner. This person said they had a dog with epilepsy. They got a credit card just for the vet bills. It averaged between $500 and $800 a month.
A month?
Whoa. That's like a nice car payment.
They'll get you.
I wouldn't be able to do that. That's so scary.
They'll get you. Later on this morning, our pals, the Ass Man, Randy Shaver, and the Lonely Boy, Brad Ryder, will be going face to face, butt to butt, for another edition of Dad Fights. Our Dad Fights trivia battle around 8 a.m. The saga begins. So we're looking forward to a good one. We will take a little break and come back. Stupid news coming up, I think, right, Josh?
Yeah, we do that.
That's coming up next.
I just want to reiterate one more thing.
Yes.
James, the program director at KQ, we hate you now.
Yeah,
for leaving us, for abandoning us, you are despised.
Total douche. We'll be right back on the program.
There's a douchiness to them. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
CJ Ham for Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. When I'm on the field, I can take anything. But at home with my family, we like everything to be comfortable. That's why I trust the pros at Standard. They've been keeping Minnesotans like me comfortable for over 90 years.
Is your cooling system making strange noises or not cooling properly? Don't wait for an AC breakdown this summer. Get a free in-home estimate with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Schedule your appointment today at standardheating.com.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Let me tell you something, Cubby. We are overwhelmed. Our text machine is firing off like a slot machine in Vegas right now. And it's a beautiful thing. We appreciate it. For Bring Your Dog to Work Day today, we thought it'd be fun to revisit something we did a handful of months ago. We know we got a lot of pet owners in our listening audience. We said, go ahead and text us a picture of your pet. And, make sure you throw a name in there. The name makes all the difference in the world. And I'm telling you, have you ever seen this text machine cooking the way it's been going the last 20 minutes or so?
It's been a while. And what a easy way to put a smile on your face. It's like I'm giggling like a moron over here looking at these awesome pictures.
Yeah, same here.
It's beautiful.
It's not just dogs and cats. Are you surprised how many people have ducks and geese as pets coming in?
I haven't seen anything of an avian variety just yet. Yeah. I've seen just dogs and cats, but I'm sure I'll get there. So it's absolutely awesome. Thank you. Keep them rolling in.
This is fun.
If you didn't get to us last time, whenever we did it a few months ago, text us this morning, 651-989-9393. Send us a picture of your pet. Hang a name on it so we know who we're dealing with.
There's a few ornithologists out there. These bird experts.
Bird people.
I am kind of treading lightly, though. Every time I get a text message that says, click to view this image, I'm waiting to see some hairy genitals or something like that. But nothing bad's happened yet. I think I don't want to play favorites or pick a favorite because it's not fair. I've loved all the pictures so far. But I think my favorite so far is Chubbs the goat-riding kitty. I don't know if you've encountered Chubbs yet. He's a goat-riding kitty. He rides the goat around.
Oh, a couple of parakeets here. Awesome.
I gotta tell one more dog story. When we first started talking about dogs in our opening break, I told the story of when my dog was accidentally killed at the vet's office and then brought back to life. It was an unforgettable moment. Josh, you were saying you've never had to put a dog to sleep. They've checked out right in the house and things like that.
Usually passed peacefully of old age. It was just the one time I told you we had to do it. It was a surprise. I was at home. My kid was sleeping. It was a late night thing. My wife's like, well, I'll just take the dog in. It's acting weird enough. We should bring it to the emergency vet. And unfortunately, we had to put it down, not knowing that was going to happen.
This was, I think, the only other time we've had to have a dog put down. I told you this story recently, off air. I don't know if I've ever shared it on air.
Is this okay? I didn't want to bring it up on air because it's an emotional story, and I didn't know if you'd want to talk about it. I'm glad you're going to bring it up, though.
No, I mean, it was what it was. A number of years ago, a dog of mine got really sick, and we turned it into the vet, and I was getting... Suddenly, I got a phone call from the vet. Many of you, I'm sure, have been through something like this. I get a phone call from the vet saying, she's dying, meaning the dog. Do you want us to try to resuscitate the dog? And I'm on the phone in the background. I can hear the vets, scrambling and running whatever machinery they had to run to try to save this dog's life. And I said, yeah, go ahead. Give it the clear, give it one of those. And I heard them make that attempt. And then they said, okay, we got nothing. Would you like us to try again? And I said, you know what? No. I didn't, for whatever reason, I didn't feel like twice was necessary. Obviously this dog is on its way out. I said, no, don't try to resuscitate it. Let her go. Which was tough, it's always tough.
Yeah.
So then comes the moment where we're going to go pick up the dog from the vet. She's dead. And don't get me wrong, the vets were awesome all the way through the process. They tried their ass off to save this dog's life. When we got there, they were very sweet and they understood, obviously, how could they not, that this can be a tough moment. So I'm not trying to criticize the vets. They did their best and they were very nice when we came in. And they said, well, your dog is in this room. Go right through that door, and you can spend some time with her before we take her off. We're going to have her cremated, right? We're not looking to dig a 6-foot hole, Wapple, like you and your dad. We're going to have the thing cremated. So in my mind, I'm picturing, well, when we walk through the door, there will be our dead pet, and she will have, her eyes closed and a peaceful look on her face.
Yeah.
And when we walk through the door, the dog's facial expression led me to believe that the last thought she had was entering the gates of hell.
You kind of mimed it. It is terrible.
This was the vocal equivalent of the facial expression the dog had. Its eyes were wide open. Its mouth was wide. And I said, well, let's close her eyes for her and close her mouth for her. It was kind of shocking. And again, I'm not being critical of the vets. I had a thought in my mind. I had an image in my mind of like from the movies when someone dies, they just kind of close their eyes and fade off. That is not the last facial expression that dog had.
Yeah, like the movies, the facial expression you're describing, I'm picturing Large Marge from Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure.
Yeah. It was just interesting.
This is great. Thank you, everybody, for sending in pictures of your adorable pets.
Oh, yeah. It's wonderful.
This is awesome. A lot of good-looking pets out there.
To start off the stupid news, did you just see a really good one?
Somebody sent in a picture of Snoop Dogg. That's not
nice.
That is not your dog.
To start off our stupid news report, I have a question for you here. Every damn last one of you. To kick off the stupid news, I have a question. Here it is. If there would have been OnlyFans back when, say, you're a junior high kid, okay? If there was an OnlyFans type of a thing when you were a junior high kid, how would you have reacted if your mother had her own OnlyFans page where she's getting naked, all ass up in the air, and the whole works?
I'd change my last name. And I would electrocute myself.
Yeah, I'd probably barf.
Yeah, I could not live with that information.
Nope, absolutely not.
I would electrocute myself. That's perfect. You're not going to go out easy.
No.
You want there to be as much pain as possible. I would electrocute myself. That's genius. Okay, I hear you. How about this on a lesser scale? You guys wouldn't be able to handle that. Mom's got an OnlyFans page.
Absolutely not.
Ass up in the air. Naked ass.
Oh, nope.
Right. On a lesser scale. But I'm still interested in your reaction. Let's say there you are. You're a junior high age kid. There is no internet. Forget the OnlyFans thing. It doesn't exist. Let's say your mom is single. The old man took a walk, died, whatever. Mom is single. How would you react if your mother got a tattoo on her arm specifically made so she can accurately measure the penises of the wide variety of men who come in and out the door?
Just like a ruler.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Would, again, electrocution be the only answer, John?
Probably.
Okay.
I mean, at least less people would be aware of it. My wife did that for me, but she just needed the top half of her pinky. Have all the guys here measured it? I mentioned before I've had mine professionally measured by a urologist.
Yes, you have. Have I measured it? Oh, God, I must have when I was 12 or 13 or something.
Long time ago. Maybe I should do that this weekend.
Yeah, my.
Do you want an accurate reading?
Oh, you don't have to share it. I was just curious if you had. We on the door frame. We've kind of done that for mine over the years, and it has shrunk with age.
That's adorable.
We just put a little mark where we're at.
You have to erase it now?
Well, no, I like to keep track. You've mentioned this before. You think yours is shrinking too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then I read some information on, how do you call it, the internet, that said that's a common thing. Well, as you get older, certain things get bigger and certain things go the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely happening for me. You'll get there,
It's not
Wapple.
nearly as impressive as it used to be. Not near. There were times when I looked down and I said, damn. Now I go, Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, I've never looked down and said, damn.
What happened?
But I have had, I mentioned the other day, summer penis kicked in, and I thought that was kind of cool. That sense changed, even with the heat we've been having. I don't know. I just had a good day. I wish you guys were there.
I wish I would have been there. So you don't think you could handle Mom having an OnlyFans page? You don't think you could handle your mother having, like, really what Wapple said, it's a ruler of sorts that was tattooed on a lady's arm so she can measure all the penises that she goes through. There is a teenage gal out there who has to try and deal with both of these scenarios. Her mom
that seems better, doesn't it? Ashley, do you think that's better that it's a girl and not a son? A daughter and not a son?
Oh, without a doubt.
For like the bullying aspect, but not like the personal feelings about it. No.
Yeah, okay. It seems way better to me, but maybe because I'd be in that son category.
Yeah, I mean, it would disgust me as much as it would disgust you guys, but like I said, I probably wouldn't be that worried about like getting completely destroyed at school over it.
Well, I know, and I, feel free to share, Ashley, if you're comfortable, but I know some women who don't mind talking sex with their moms.
Right.
Like it's common for them.
Right.
Yeah, me and my mom aren't very. Nah, we don't go into detail about that kind of stuff. No.
But I mean, you do discuss it in certain ways, or?
I guess like in kind of like a passing.
Okay. I mean, I know according to the two girls that I know that have said this, that it's very graphic, no detail left unsaid.
Yeah,
Don't you feel weird knowing that they're talking about you?
Oh, I'm not. I haven't dated. It's not like these are just like friends, like wives of friends, specifically.
That would be weird to hear. Like,
but it'd be weird if they started talking about me because I've never been intimate with them. Yeah.
But if you were, that'd be brutal too. Then your like mother-in-law knows everything.
She knows
that's true.
Knows all your moves.
Yeah, but what if you ain't got no moves? She knows that too.
Yep.
I couldn't imagine, like the first time my mom met my boyfriend, her like in the back of her mind being like, I know how he has sex. Like, no. Nope.
And I think most guys hate the idea of their mother-in-law sexualizing them in any way. Wouldn't you guys? There's no genre you can find online that would argue that against me, that has ruined my point.
What guys really hate is when their significant other's sister sexualizes them.
Yeah. I've heard that before.
Guys hate that. Mm-hmm. All right, so there is a teenage gal out there who has to try and deal with both of these situations. Her mom is ass up on OnlyFans, and mom just got a new tattoo on her arm to accurately measure tallywhackers.
Do you think she gets the tattoo updated for like high scores?
I didn't notice anybody written on there, just the measurements.
No, I think that would be exhausting. Depending on how often you have company over.
Yeah, it has like initials next to it.
A date.
She probably keeps a journal on that. I don't think you need to permanently put that into your skin. All of this is part of a story about another one of these OnlyFans gals. Maybe you know her. She goes by the name of Stacy Kiss. It says here she has 1 million followers. The focus of the story is on the mom, Stacy Kiss. The daughter is only briefly mentioned. It just notes that the daughter is slightly mortified by all this, but, what can she do? Mom's got to pay the bills, and this is the route that mom decided to take. Stacy Kiss goes ahead and explains her new dong measuring tattoo. Like we've said a couple times, it's more or less a ruler that runs up one of her arms. She said, this is kind of a confusing statement, to me at least, just as guys in the past have asked to keep my lingerie or have me send them a naughty selfie or even ask if they can keep a piece of my hair, I love that I can now know the exact measurements of what I enjoy so much. I love it, and I think it'll be incredibly useful in all aspects of life.
I don't think I'd be able to copulate with this woman, knowing that that's part of what she does.
Oh.
I mean, how silly would you feel as well? Like, okay, just hold the arm up next to there.
Well, but she says, Josh, she's not trying to compare or judge men in any way.
No.
And I think that's quite obvious.
Certainly.
Yeah. She says, for me, knowing a guy's size isn't about judging or comparing him to others. It's the finer details that make the experience all the more exciting. And she's trying to sell it quite well here.
Wisco Bills fan Jesus said his wife's dad makes jokes about he and his daughter's sex life all the time. By he, I mean Wisco Bills fan Jesus.
His wife's, one more time.
So his father-in-law makes
makes
jokes about his sex life. So, and he's, obviously sleeping with this guy's daughter.
That's a little cringy.
That's weirder that it's the dad saying that about his daughter.
Well, some people are just wide open. Some people are just wide open.
I couldn't make a joke like that. I was going to ask you.
I'm all right with a lot of that stuff. I mean, come on already. We're grown folks. We can talk about sex. We can joke about sex or lack thereof sex with family. I guess I don't. Not much of that can shock me.
That wouldn't work in my family. With the sinning and all that kind of stuff. And I don't even know
the sinning,
the sinning and whatnot.
Okay.
I'm assuming. I grew up with more kids in the household, but I'm one of 3 that my parents had. Right, and I'm guessing how that happened, and I'm assuming that's the only 3 times that ever occurred, right? The sex.
Probably.
So I don't like to think about that, but I was just thinking about that now, unfortunately. So my youngest, he's the product of in vitro.
In
okay?
vitro.
So I humped a cup, essentially.
You sure did.
And then the lab created him.
Cup humper.
And they really, hey, I'm fine with it, Wapple. I got pretty good at it. The lab created him, and they made a lot of mistakes. He's damaged in many ways.
Oh, no.
Which would be more uncomfortable for you? When you first learn about sex.
You're a little kid?
You first learn about sex, and for me, I was, to be honest, grossed out. First time I heard it, I was shocked that happened. So, and then finding out your parents do that.
Okay.
So you're created the way that most happen.
I understand.
Versus your dad jacked it into a cup.
As a little kid,
and then they squirted it into mom.
Oh, as a little kid, what would you rather hear? That your mom and dad bumped uglies like a couple of animals in the wild to produce you?
Yep.
Or would you be more uncomfortable to learn that your dad masturbated?
Right.
And then doctors handled it and mixed it with others?
Exactly.
Right. Good question. I think I'd rather hear about mom and dad tearing each other's genitals smooth off.
Yeah, I think I think I would too.
Interesting question, though.
But I plan to, as he gets older, mention that over and over and over again, how he came into the world.
Have you told him that he was, made differently?
Yeah.
How did he react?
Oh, he's fine with it.
How did he react when you told him that I was his godson? Or godfather?
Over the moon.
He was thrilled?
Yeah.
Of course he was.
He worships at the shrine he's made for you in his room.
Yes. Back to
He'd like to meet you
He
someday.
would.
Yeah, I mean, he's mentioned that he'd love to get an opportunity to meet his godfather.
Who are we talking about again?
Your godson,
Oh,
my
sure,
son.
sure.
Yeah.
Back to this lady with the D-measuring tattoo on her arm. She's an OnlyFans model. I'm guessing her daughter's pretty much seen and heard it all by now, and the new D-measuring tattoo probably isn't the worst she's ever been through. What do you think?
No, mom's probably disgusted her in other ways.
Yeah, there are other things.
How about this text?
Oh.
My old man heard me clapping my wife's booty cheeks at one point. Got a message later asking if we were effing or fighting. Thank God. I know you. Didn't you say you heard something coming out of your parents? Or you walked in or something?
When I was real little, I walked in on them. And I was real little, so my initial thought was they were wrestling.
Did they go with that?
They never spotted me.
Oh, they didn't.
They never spotted
that's right.
me. It was one of those deals where I walked in and went, well, what the hell is this now? And then I walked back out. But my initial thought is that they were wrestling. I had no effing clue.
Texas Carpenter Jesus said, I'm just thankful I was adopted, so I know my parents never did it ever.
Old Stacy Kiss that I was telling you about over there on OnlyFans. So she's measuring peckers all day long. A research team in South Korea also just got done measuring dongs and noses. So according to the 357 millionth completely exhausting and unnecessary study on the effing penis, if you want to know which dudes are packing heat, you only have to look at our faces. I'm sure you've heard something similar ahead. Anyway, the word is the bigger the schnoz, the mightier the hog.
Sweet.
Ooh, Ashley, take a look at actor Adrian Brody.
Adrian Brody?
Look at that. That hung fella.
The research team looked at 1,160 men's penises. These men were in their 30s.
I've seen that many.
They also measured these fellas' nose size, and I guess they did that by measuring the length from the corner of the eye to the end of each nostril, and then they compared it to the size of their non-erect penis. Hopefully that's the dumbest thing I say today.
That's just so not true.
Maybe these... I don't know, maybe these research folks make massive amounts of money. I hope they do, because there is just no way I could put in 8 hours of measuring noses and penises all day.
Yeah.
I would come home from
work. I hope
work.
they use different rulers, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Josh, I think
if they don't, I know I'd like them to go from top to bottom, at least on me.
From top to bottom?
Yeah. Nose first.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, I think I could put on a good face for the kids when they greet me at the door, you know, when I come home from work. If this is what I did for a living, and then I would go into an empty room, I would fall into a fetal position and cry like a child.
One day you'd blow up and tell them what you do for a living. You know what I do to put food on the table? Oh, you want to know?
As they're eating a kielbasa.
Yeah, that's when you snap.
Yeah.
You would snap.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, I would get really drunk and smash all my medical diplomas on the sidewalk out front of the house. You know what I mean? The neighbor would come to try to calm me down. I would attack him. I'd hold him down. I'd measure his penis against his will while scream crying. If this is what I did for 8-10 hours a day. But you're right. Eventually, the kids would say something like, "Our house is stupid. This place is boring." And you would snap and say, "Do you know what I do every day to give you this house?"
Why don't we have a Paramount Plus subscription? Dirty Engineer Shiza said she knows a dad who informs people via text, including his own children, when he's had sex with his wife.
Yeah, you know, like I said, some people are wide open, and also some people never let go of the fascination with their own sexual activity. You know, the types where when they're getting laid, they're somehow convinced they're the only person on earth who's getting any.
Yeah.
That is weird, isn't it?
It's a strain. There's plenty of them out there.
You know, we've brought this up before. There's a few people that we've worked with over the years that fall into that category.
It's ridiculous.
And we weren't close enough with them to have that conversation. But there is one exception where I was fascinated, and to this day it's still a marvel. We've mentioned this story before, but a saleswoman who worked here for, I don't know, was it 15 to 25 minutes? She was here, and I never saw her again.
I think I know who you're talking about.
We're walking out, she's walking in, and she said that every morning on her way into work, when she's driving, she puts one leg up on the dashboard and masturbates.
Yeah.
On her way into work. That's the first conversation we ever had with her.
Ridiculous.
I'm not misremembering, right? We'd never met her before.
No, you're exactly right. And I got to admit that for the first 5-10 seconds, I thought, this is really cool.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
Well, nice to meet you.
But then it dawned on me, you know, she's one of these I masturbate, I have sex people. Well, yeah.
Good for you.
That's what people do. It's like, you know, does everyone have that friend who will approach you at the bar and say, "Well, you're never going to believe where I just went. Las Vegas. They have gambling. They have... Well, yes, everybody's been to friggin... Everyone knows what happens in Las Vegas. Well, these people who act like they discovered something that's been around forever. That's the kind of people we're talking about. They think when they're having sex, they think they discovered sex. When they get drunk, they think they discovered drinking. They're out there. It's a weird kind of like they have blinders on. They're not aware of anything else that's going on around. They're the only ones involved in these certain things.
I'm remembering back to Wapple not knowing how to have guy talk when we had asked him how things were going with his new girlfriend.
Oh, I love it.
That's all we said. How are things going with your new girlfriend? And I don't even know if I should say anything. Well, yeah, I have to now. And he's like, well, I can tell you this much. She doesn't have a gag reflex.
Well, I just love that.
It's like you were, I think because of a lack of ass over your lifetime, you were desperate to, as soon as you can, as soon as you could, tell us, I got some ass.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
And so it came out
No, it wasn't cool. You've learned since then.
It came out very awkward and very creepy that the first thing you said about your new girlfriend was something pertaining to her oral sex skills.
And again, all we were saying is, how's the relationship going? Yeah, at that point, you hadn't had enough experience on how to just have quote-unquote guy talk.
Yep.
You threw that out there. Do you ever think back to that? Because every once in a while, I wake up in the middle of the night and think about how uncomfortable I was when that happened.
No, I don't.
You don't think about it? You should.
I guess I kind of just blacked it out.
Yeah, that's probably the way to go.
So,
and now it's back.
Again, the billionth study on penis size, and it's nothing new. You've heard it before. They claim that, if a dude's got a big nose, he might have a larger than average dong. They also studied and analyzed penises around the globe to reveal, as if you haven't heard something like this before, but I'm going to go ahead anyway. They revealed the country whose men have the largest average erect penis size. You want to guess the country? Go.
Well, I saw it, and I was surprised. I was also surprised how low we were on the list.
I didn't even look us up because I'm so burned out on this crap. Wapple and Ashley, a country whose men have the largest peckers.
I'm going to go Australia because Josh was surprised.
Okay,
so
Ashley.
You've always thought of Australia as this tiny penis?
No, I would go with the kind of obvious one, but if you were surprised, I'm not going to go that route.
Okay.
Ashley?
I was going to say Australia, so now I'm kind of screwed.
You can say that.
Yeah.
Ecuador.
I would have, no.
Oh,
never.
I saw a different one.
Never would have guessed that.
Oh, I thought I read, it says here.
You maybe just must be a different list.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you see, Josh?
I saw Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Yeah, really?
And I just have never thought about their penises before.
All this stuff is just so stupid.
Now I'm going to start thinking about their penises more.
I know that God is busy with other various disasters, but if he has a minute, well, first off, kill social media, God, if you have a minute. But something else that needs to be taken care of, could you somehow help mankind get over their obsession with penis size? I'm so tired of this stuff.
Me too.
But it is interesting to read that in Ecuador, their average penis size, when erect, 48 inches long and 15 inches wide.
No.
That's like a whale.
They can detach from their owners and are known to roam through town after dark looking to feed.
I got carjacked by one. Didn't even fit in my vehicle.
What did you read about American penis size?
So I looked up the one you're looking at, 59. We finished 59th.
59th?
Yeah, 59th, with an average penis size of, ladies, a quarter inch. A quarter inch average.
Nothing but micro penises.
But the one I had looked at before, we were 30th. I like that one better. No, wait, I don't like that one better. What am I saying?
Oh, that's outstanding. Our average size is a quarter inch, man. You are a monster.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
You are a monster amongst men.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Pumped to have Bill Burr with us. He's been in the booth with Duke and I at a couple of occasions. We had such a great time. I frankly cannot believe you are here in between stops on your tour. You came in specially for this, didn't you?
Yeah, you guys hit me up, and I took a tour of this stadium when they first built it, so I've never been to a game here.
Just out of curiosity, what's the record? There's got to be some nerd here with the laptop. Can you give us that answer?
So Castro will go into the game to play
He's
low.
got enough pads on. He looks like Lindy Ruff. It's an NHL reference from 40 years ago. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm old enough to get it. So
This ex-NHL player told me what his nickname was. It was Lindy on the road, rough at home. How great is that? He was a gentleman in your building. That's
right.
At home, the stick would come up.
That's
back
beautiful.
in the yard.
I
Back
love
in
that.
the yard, yeah.
Oh, Wow. So Bill Burr was in town when the Red Sox were playing here at Target Field against the Twins, and he sat in with the announcers.
Yeah, on Wednesday. A few people had texted yesterday and asked if I'd heard it. I had no idea. No clue until some people texted in and mentioned.
How the hell did they know?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Someone able
They
to get
told me if I asked, they would kill me.
Oh, my God. I heard that he said he had the worst hot dog of his entire life at Target Field.
Yeah, he didn't like it.
I find that to be hard to believe. I love the hot dogs at
He
Target.
thought it had been sitting out for at least 2 days.
That's all right. That's the way I like them.
Yeah, same here.
A lot of folks like that Bill Burr, and I know he's a sports guy, and he gets involved in the Boston ball clubs.
He's great.
Was he in town doing a show?
Not that I'm aware. I mean, we would have heard of that.
All right.
I hope we're not that unplugged.
Fair enough. Hey, what a great win for the Twins yesterday. I wish this friggin' game would have been a night game so I could have seen a little bit more of it. Day game yesterday, they beat the Red Sox 6-0, so they split the series after the first 2 games were so miserable. And they got a little momentum going into this weekend series against the Detroit Tigers. They start tonight, 5:40. It'll be televised on Bally Sports North, and I think Kente Maeda is going to go. We'll get into detail on the Twins and all kinds of other things. The NBA draft last night. We'll tell you who the Timberwolves went with. That's when Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder join us in about a half hour. We'll also get the dad fights. I think we're up to number 135. We'll get to all that shortly. We got to take a break. Come back for Josh's news.
There's a douchiness to them. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
CJ Ham for Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. When I'm on the field, I can take anything. But at home with my family, we like everything to be comfortable. That's why I trust the pros at Standard. They've been keeping Minnesotans like me comfortable for over 90 years.
Is your cooling system making strange noises or not cooling properly? Don't wait for an AC breakdown this summer. Get a free in-home estimate with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Schedule your appointment today at standardheating.com.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
You get scared. Obviously, it worries you that somebody may be tampering with food sources and things of that nature. We have several different agencies investigating, assisting us with this investigation. So hopefully we're going to come up with an answer here pretty soon of how it happened.
The same night that 7 people were hospitalized from unknowingly consuming narcotics, a man dressed as a hibachi chef walked in and out of the kitchen of a Florida restaurant approximately 3 times before being told by the manager to leave simply because he didn't work there. The sheriff's office said 7 people went to the hospital June 9th after unknowingly consuming methamphetamine while dining at Nico Japanese Steakhouse. The 7 people told deputies they started to feel weird after consuming their food.
We've got some tests that have been run that indicate there was a narcotic of some sort. It's our understanding all of them came from the same table.
In one case, a family of 4 took themselves to the hospital and told deputies they eventually saw 3 others that sat at their same table also arrive. All 7 took tests, and they came back positive for meth. The sheriff's office said the family also had leftovers from the restaurant, which tested positive for meth as well. The manager told deputies a man dressed as a hibachi chef was in the kitchen, saying he was recently hired. But according to the report, the man filled out an application to work at the restaurant, but was never hired. A search was conducted at the business where investigators tested multiple soy sauce bottles in the restaurant for narcotics, and they all came back positive for meth. The manager of a sushi restaurant where the man used to work told deputies he was always moving fast and would talk to himself.
Oh.
She also claimed the man would talk about being on medicine, but then would get mad when people brought it up.
He's got a special medicine, does he?
This medicine making him real animated. But the sheriff's office said due to lack of eyewitness observing him and surveillance footage, they are unable to determine if any person associated with the restaurant contaminated the food consumed by the patrons, so the case has been closed.
So this is not their guy. They don't have enough to pin it on this guy.
They're pretty sure he's the guy.
Yeah,
but they don't have the evidence to charge him.
That sucks. I'll tell you what, whenever I go to one of those hibachi joints, I usually leave feeling weird, and that's because I've eaten so damn much I can barely breathe.
I know, I love those places.
And every once in a while, you know, when they spray the sake in your mouth, they just keep going and going and going and going and going.
You go ahead with that when they offered us?
I don't, but I've seen it before. And as a matter of fact, one of my kids just the other day was like, I thought I'm not going to be able to drive home. He wouldn't stop. He just kept going.
The last time I was at one of those joints, there was a 21-year-old kid there, and they sakied him sideways. And I think we sat together. You know how they put strangers at your table. We sat with this kid for an hour and a half, and there was a big difference between the way he was operating when he walked in and the way he was operating on the way out.
I could see why.
They filled him up with that sake.
They have it for kids, too. Yeah, the like lemonade or whatever they put in there. Hopefully it's not like a type of sake. But now the bottle you're referring to, was it anatomical, and that's where the fluid came out?
No.
Oh.
It was just like one of them big fat water bottles you might see someone dragging around the gym.
Oh, okay.
This one was different.
Okay.
This one was different.
They made it look like a pee-pee?
They sure did.
To embarrass. Okay, sure.
They did. A Los Angeles police dog located a massive stash of narcotics and a rifle hidden in a vending machine. The coolest vending machine of all time.
Yeah. Dang. All I got last time was a Twix.
Sheriff's deputies were in L.A. to serve a search warrant at an undisclosed location and requested a canine from the Los Angeles Police Department. LAPD Canine Bosco responded to the scene to assist in the investigation. He sniffed out the drugs hidden in a nondescript soda vending machine. Inside the machine, authorities found 15 pounds of heroin, a kilo of fentanyl, and a rifle.
He knows the odors, he knows how to find the drugs, and all he really wants is his toy so he can play with it. As far as he knows, he's smelling something that's going to reward him. That's the only game that he knows how to play.
According to the DEA, a kilo of fentanyl has the potential to kill more than 500,000 people.
Gross.
Are you effing kidding me?
What a good boy. Do you think at first they were like, no, you don't get any of the snacks? Like they didn't believe that was actually drugs?
We all love Dr. Pepper, but we've got work to do here. You know, this morning, it's been awesome. Thank you to everybody who's been texting in photos of their pets. And some canine officers have sent in photos of some of these canines as well.
Oh,
so it's cool to see some of those.
Working dogs.
A Connecticut man was wounded in a shooting this week, but his cell phone may have saved his life. New Haven police responded to a report of a shooting about 8:45 p.m. Tuesday. According to police, a male victim was shot while inside his vehicle, and although he tried to flee the scene by reversing his car, he ended up colliding with another parked car across the street. Officers found the victim lying in the roadway with a gunshot wound. Police said his cell phone was struck by the bullet, which prevented him from being harmed further.
Jeez.
Turns out he was transported to the hospital with only a graze wound. They say the cell phone saved his life.
Isn't that just like, who was the movie character whose gum, a little gum packet? You following that?
Yeah, I don't remember. There was one with a Bible. Somebody had a
yeah?
Bible in their pocket, and that stopped it.
Somebody text me, 651-989-9393. There was a movie character who kept their chewing gum in a cigarette case, and the chewing gum case stopped a bullet. I'm going to go look at my text machine. I know I'm not making that up. What makes you say wow?
It's just impressive.
Is it impressive?
Yeah.
I'll get back to you on this.
Police in Nashville said a man was arrested after a theft victim led police to her stolen iPhone inside the man's Jeep, along with nearly 20 other stolen phones wrapped in aluminum foil. On Sunday morning, the 25-year-old victim was in a restaurant when she discovered her iPhone missing from her purse. The victim was able to track the phone via her Apple Watch to a parking lot behind the restaurant. She asked officers for help, and shortly after, they found a maroon Jeep Wagoneer from which the victim's phone was pinging. There, they found 17 cell phones, many of them wrapped in aluminum foil. Police said the foil was used in an attempt to diminish their signals.
What are you doing with all those cell phones?
I don't know. He's got a cheap Wagoneer. That's not a cheap vehicle. He must be doing all right with these stolen phones.
Yeah.
Josh, I'm an idiot.
Why?
I'm a stupid idiot.
You're not a stupid idiot.
Johnny Dangerously.
Oh, I've never seen that movie.
What?
I'm sorry.
Johnny Dangerously. I love our listeners.
Was that with Johnny Depp?
No.
Okay, what am I thinking of?
Johnny Depp was probably in 8th grade. Michael Keaton.
I like Michael
Played
Keaton.
the lead role is how you say it. Peter Boyle.
Oh, I love Peter Boyle.
Mary Lou Henner.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
She was Johnny's woman. She's absolutely stunning in that movie.
What's
Joe
it about?
Piscopo. And the dude who played Ruben Maroney. Johnny Dangerously, he's a gangster in the 20s.
Oh.
His mother needs many operations, for those of you who have seen Johnny Dangerously. His mother has a never-ending list of operations that she needs.
That's too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Hope it worked out.
You would. We've had this conversation before. You need to see that movie.
I know, you told me before.
It is wildly funny.
A woman in Indianapolis said she's been the victim of an unusual robbery. After working a late shift, she came home to a gunman who approached her, stole cash, and then forced her to send him a Facebook request on Facebook.
What?
A friend request on Facebook.
A friend request?
Yeah, I didn't need to say Facebook twice. All right, fine. I'm working for Facebook.
He forced her
to send a
friend request to him at gunpoint?
That's right.
God dang.
Later, he asked her out on a date.
No way.
What did she say?
She said no. Court records show that Damian Boyce pointed out his Facebook profile to the victim and then watched her add him, saying he would pay the money he stole back to her before leaving the scene on a bike. That same day, the two exchanged messages via Facebook. Here, a local newsman sounded cool AF reading that exchange.
The two exchanged Facebook messages. Boyce saying, "Look, just know I'ma pay you back. It's an expletive way to meet, but expletive. You is too pretty to rob." The victim replied, "I believe you, man. I could tell you're sweet. Times just get rough. I know that." Boyce sent more, saying, "I feel like a total expletive. I swear I got you. What's your Cash App tag? Or you could send it when I'm ready. For real, I'm expletive. We had to meet up on them terms. Come chill with me. I swear I'm not on that type of timing."
Now, believe it or not.
That's pretty good.
I like that. I like it when they do that. Believe it or not, he's not necessarily the greatest guy. He was charged with armed robbery in that case. Documents also stated he was arrested and charged in a separate incident last week for robbery resulting in bodily injury, battery by means of a deadly weapon, among other charges.
That is straight out of a movie. Really, honestly. He demands her friendship on Facebook and then asks her out on an effing date.
She was fine AF. He allegedly also shot two people and then hit someone in the head with a brick. He was also charged with carrying a handgun as a felon last Wednesday. A Florida man wearing only socks and a small covering wrapped around his waist was arrested Wednesday after multiple hit-and-run crashes. Police say an SUV was speeding when it struck multiple cars and continued down the road. A Florida Fish and Wildlife officer tried to pull over the driver, identified as 22-year-old Stephen Peterson, but he didn't stop. The SUV then drove onto an elementary school's property and drove around the running track before getting back onto the street. Eventually, cops caught him, and they discovered he was wearing only socks and a small covering around his waist.
A small covering?
Yeah, I wish you could see our website. The site that Ashley uses to post all the links to the site, our website, is not working.
What?
I'd love to show this to you.
And you haven't seen Johnny Dangerously?
I haven't. I'll see it. What year did that come out?
Worst day ever. 1984.
1984.
Is it weird that, like, the socks bother me the most? Like, why are you wearing socks? It just...
Not the brightly colored waist wrap?
No, it's just like, probably because, like, I hate wet socks. I hate dirty socks. They just, like, disgust me.
Yeah, he's wearing them. And you're going to have to find a way to move on because we got stuff to do today. In police body cam audio, you can hear Peterson's passenger not handling the situation very well.
"I don't care. Get out of the car now."
She did. She came a little bit uncorked.
She wasn't happy. Just when you think you've seen and heard everything, a naked driver causes multiple hit-and-run crashes, flees from law enforcement, resists arrest, and then has to be dragged out naked from his car to be arrested, Sheriff Rick Staley said. "I'll leave it up to your imagination on what was going on inside that car," the sheriff said. Peterson faces multiple charges.
That's wonderful.
A man who... Oh, geez, we're running late. I'm going to skip this one.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we aren't? All right, then I'm going to do it.
What do we care?
I'm going to do it out of spite.
It's Friday.
A man who's claimed for years Google was torturing users with flashing lights crashed a car into a building near the company's New York City headquarters, injuring 3 pedestrians.
Oh, no.
The 24-year-old drove onto the sidewalk and crashed his Ford Fusion into a building in Manhattan's Chelsea neighborhood just after 6 p.m. Tuesday. Images posted to social media show a homemade sign that says, "Google tortured me," and what appears to be a gasoline can at the crash scene, which is about a block from Google's headquarters. The man filed a lawsuit in 2019 accusing Google of using blinding lights to operate a social control program. He claimed in a 2021 Facebook post Google Android operating system was flashing users in the eyes for purposes of malicious injury. He wrote in another Facebook post that year, "I guess Google thinks it's okay to torture someone across their entire Android OS. No security updates for almost 4 years?" 12-year-old girl and 2 women, ages 50 and 47, were hit by the car and hospitalized in stable condition. Sounds like they will be okay.
Dude just needs to get an iPhone. There's such a problem with Google.
Yeah, he uses a lot of their services for somebody that's that upset.
Somebody needs to sit this guy down. A little conversation.
An inebriated Florida man was arrested Tuesday night for disorderly intoxication while drinking a can of Florida Man beer. 38-year-old Seth Thomas was yelling at traffic while walking in the roadway in front of traffic and refusing to stop when he was collared by sheriff's deputies in the Tampa Bay area. Police say Thomas was drinking from a can of Florida Man at the time of his arrest. The beer, produced by the Tampa-based Cigar City Brewing, is a double India Pale Ale, brewed with, quote, nearly criminal amounts of hops and moderate bitterness that just about matches Florida Man's general disposition.
A cute gimmick.
Yeah, they say it's a tribute to all those, quote, alligator wrestling Florida men with shark tooth necklaces and a rap sheet longer than their mama's mustache. His rap sheet includes recent convictions for obstructing police trespassing, possession of open alcohol, and disorderly intoxication.
Florida Man beer. That would be a good one for the young kids' beer can collection, if in fact young people were still collecting beer cans. I don't think they do that anymore. We did.
Yeah, what would they
I don't do that.
Hashtags? Can you collect a hashtag?
I guess people collect like empty bottles now. I know that.
Just like in general?
Yeah, empty like liquor bottles.
Oh, you mean just to
gotcha.
show off how much they drink?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a little different. We had our, you tried to get the most obscure beer can. We had a pretty impressive one when we were little kids. I think the one we were most proud of was Billy Beer, which I believe was a beer named after Jimmy Carter's brother, Billy Carter.
Billy Beer.
Billy Beer. That was the one we thought, hey, no one's got that one.
You've got an impressive beer can.
What the hell is happening?
Jennifer Lawrence in No Hard Feelings is now in theaters. J-Law. On the brink of losing her childhood home, a desperate woman agrees to date a wealthy couple's introverted and awkward 19-year-old son before he leaves for college. No Hard Feelings also stars Matthew Broderick.
Boy, is she a pretty lady, that Jennifer Lawrence that you said.
Yeah, people seem to like her quite a bit.
I hadn't really ever seen much of her, and I saw an ad for that movie, and I thought, that's a pretty lady right there.
Hey, stay away from my lady.
She's your lady?
Yeah.
That's true. You have been talking about her for a long time.
Yeah, what called dibs, guys?
There was a rumor going around early this week that her mom had sold Jennifer Lawrence's toilet on Craigslist at one point. Turns out it sounds like that's not true.
Hey, Wapple, go ahead. All right, you want to be the Jennifer Lawrence guy, but I think you might grow to regret that because I might, turn the tables on you and ask you to stay away from Tara Reid.
Ooh.
Now you don't like that setup so much anymore, do you?
Now what are you going to do?
Because Tara is my lady.
What's also cool is my girlfriend is a really big fan of Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, so if you ever got a chance, you guys wouldn't kick her out of bed?
No.
Well, you think she'd allow a threesome between you, her, and Jennifer Lawrence?
Oh, she definitely would.
I could see her not letting you be there.
She definitely would.
I could see Wapple not letting Jennifer Lawrence be there.
That's true.
The most jealous man on planet Earth.
Would you be jealous of Jennifer Lawrence being with your woman?
No. That'd be cool.
And now on Max, the streaming premiere of Evil Dead Rise, a twisted tale of two estranged sisters whose reunion is cut short by the rise of flesh-possessing demons. J.J. Evans on Good Times, Jimmy Walker, who has a stand-up comedy set at Crooner's Supper Club in Swiftieapolis tonight. He turned 76 on Sunday.
One of our heroes growing up, we've mentioned it many times. If it wasn't for Jimmy Walker, I would have been one bored 8-year-old.
Me too. One of my all-time favorites. You know who else was at Crooner's? Well, this was last night.
Talk to me.
Brad B-Rad Gluckman. Jamie Kennedy was there last night.
Are you effing
how did we not know
on my... That's... What a great setup. I like... what's his name again? You said it and I forgot already.
Jamie Kennedy?
Yeah,
he's a funny dude.
Yeah.
Starlight on Amazon's The Boys. Erin Moriarty, 29 tomorrow. You got a thing for her?
Very pretty.
Yeah, she is.
We got 4 now. It's a 4-way now.
Yeah, there's no way your girlfriend's going to allow that.
Yeah, she actually likes her, too.
You lucky bastard.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't even know who the hell we're talking about, but good for you.
She's 29 tomorrow. Mindy Kaling, Kelly on The Office, 44. Intimidating singer Glenn Danzig, 68 today. Northway Irrigation Jesus wants to tell Butthole Machinist Jesus to suck it and have a great birthday. Happy 14th.
Can you do both at the same time?
Happy 14th to Jade from Works in the Same Building as Josh Jesus. G-Pop, a.k.a. The Dog Is Not My Boss Jesus, wishing his granddaughter Peanut Butter Butt Jesus a happy birthday. Happy 42nd to non-denominational Ben, and happy, he's going to be adding a year tomorrow to the tally. Happy birthday to Bros, and that's 93X News.
Care 11's Randy Shaver
on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
With the first pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Victor Wembanyama from Nanterre, France.
Tell me what this emotion, tell me about these tears.
It's just accomplishing something that I've been dreaming of, my whole life. Hearing that sentence from Adam Silver, I've dreamed of it so much that I gotta cry, man.
All of your wildest dreams will come true.
My God, Pedro. I wasn't expecting that. Hey, here's the dudes, Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Checking in on a Friday, huh?
Sure.
That's how we do it.
Don't have a choice.
Here.
You don't have a choice?
No, I got to check in.
Well, no, we want you to check in, but you do have a choice. You could just...
It's up to you.
I mean, like Dana decided not to come to work today, and so he had a choice, and he chose not to come here.
What's his excuse?
Family function.
Well,
he's out front of U.S. Bank Stadium waiting for Taylor Swift to start.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great? We see photos online of him in the crowd.
Yeah, he lies about going out of town. There he is.
I mean, yeah, he goes to both shows.
He's a big guy. He'll stand out. That's for sure.
He comes off like the type that might need a restraining order from the Taylor Swift camp. Does he strike you as that type as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
His level of fandom for the things he's passionate about is off the charts.
It's kind of sick.
I may be interrupted by a family function here while we're on the air. I hope not.
Well, what's going on? Wife's got to get into the bathroom?
No, they're setting up our tents in our backyard for our grad party tomorrow.
Oh.
Oh, I'm guessing our invites got lost in the mail.
You are more than welcome. All of you are more than welcome to come, although I will not be telling you my address over the air.
Well, what are you standing outside or something? How is that going to bother?
No, they're coming. The 10 people are coming in that magical cable TV window between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m.
All right.
So,
well, I think we'll be all right.
I think we should be okay.
That's a hell of a deal.
As long as it doesn't happen in the middle of dad fights.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, yeah, my wife isn't home. She's at the airport picking up my father-in-law, so we'll keep our fingers crossed.
You heard the audio from last night. The NBA draft was televised last night. Were you all over this deal?
Nope.
No.
I actually watched it, like a decent part of it.
Yeah, I watched some of it. Why is that so funny?
Because I don't follow basketball like at all.
Nothing much on television last night?
No, it was actually just on at the bar when I was eating dinner. So.
Oh, well, that doesn't.
Drinking dinner, do you mean?
Yes, sure. Yes. Tequila sunrises.
Here's the deal. Victor Wembanyama, very emotional after he was picked number 1 overall by the San Antonio Spurs. Very emotional. People in San Antonio were coming completely uncorked. I saw video. They packed their arena for a draft party, and everyone lost their collective gourds.
Sure.
So that's probably the only NBA market that's really thrilled this morning.
If he becomes the player everybody thinks he will be, it's going to be quite the story in San Antonio.
I saw many NBA analysts and such predicting that he will win a championship or multiple championships with the Spurs. I mean, they're jumping the gun, yeah, but that's their prediction.
Sure.
But I'm sure he endeared himself even more to the San Antonio people by, tearing up a little bit and talking about how important, the moment was. Reading, how do you call it, social media, a lot of NBA fans said last night's draft was boring.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I think from a local perspective, we probably thought it might have been boring just because nobody in the market really paid attention to it because the Wolves didn't have a high pick.
Right. But just in general, NBA fans said the show was boring. Now, I don't follow college basketball as closely as I used to. I follow the Golden Gophers, but I don't follow.
That's what makes it hard. Because you don't recognize the players.
So, so few of these guys stick around for very long. All of the variables we've been dealing with as, college basketball fans for years. It's not like it was 35 years ago when you got very familiar. These guys were around for 4 years. So outside of Victor Wembanyama, and then maybe the kid from Iowa, Murray. Mm-hmm. I wasn't terribly familiar. What I'd like to know is, why weren't the NBA on TNT fellas tasked with covering the draft? Because I imagine they could have made it fun.
I don't know if they've ever done that.
Is it because of a specific deal with ESPN, maybe?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, fair enough. I understand that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen them on for a draft.
And maybe if they were asked, they'd say no. Because that's a lot of friggin' homework.
ESPN has the rights to all of these drafts, the NFL, the NBA,
Fair enough, but let's say it was wide open. If you were Shaq or Charles Barkley, Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, I might say no to this because you got to do a ton of research to know who the hell these... Oh, man, that'd be a lot of work.
Oh, and then you just came off the season, too?
Right.
So you've been working the whole season, and now you finally get some time off, and you were like, back to draft stuff.
If they ever get a chance, I bet they could turn up the fun level a little bit on that friggin' event. Interesting that a pair of twins were selected back-to-back in last night's draft. I believe maybe numbers 4 and 5 overall.
That's correct.
Had you heard of these guys before?
I don't know if I have.
Can't say that I have either.
I hadn't either. Amen and Asar Thompson went back-to-back. I believe the first, Amen, went to Houston. The second, Asar, went to Detroit. And then I mentioned Chris Murrah being selected out of the University of Iowa. He will be in the NBA now. Oh, God, I forgot who drafted him, but his twin brother already plays for Sacramento.
Right.
Twins. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like Brooke and Robin Lopez. What other twins have played in the NBA?
The Van Arsdales.
Van Arsdale.
Dick Van Arsdale, and I forget his brother's name. They were twin guards.
Was it Tom?
Tom Van Arsdale.
Dick and Tom. Who were the guys? Horace and Harvey Grant.
Oh, yes.
Were twin brothers that played in the NBA. There's a current set.
The Paxsons. Remember the Paxsons?
They weren't. Were they twins?
I think they were.
John and Jim? I don't think they were twins.
Okay.
I think one was. The Morris brothers, Markeith and
Marcus.
Marcus. Yeah, there's been sets of twins.
Sure.
It was kind of funny because his folks were Amen and Asar Thompson. His folks were sitting on a couch being interviewed by ESPN, and then the next pick was the other son. They didn't move. They just stayed right there because they were going to be.
Jim and John Paxson were twins, by the way, Brad.
They were.
Yeah, I thought they were.
Mm-hmm.
Well, F me. That's a good one, Brad Ryder. The Paxson brothers. Timberwolves, like you said, they didn't have a pick until the 53rd pick. Everyone had gone home already. They selected a guard by the name of Jalen Clark from the University of California at Los Angeles. A defensive specialist, they say. Defensive Player of the Year last year in college basketball. Is that correct? He's 6'5". He was named the 2022-23 Naismith Defensive Player of the Year, the 2022-23 Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. You see where they're going with this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The first Defensive Player of the Year from UCLA since Russell Westbrook a number of years ago. Okay. A guy who can guard somebody. That's a decent idea. Oh, he went to the same high school as current Timberwolves guard Jordan McLaughlin. And then they also made a trade. Did you hear about this?
I did not.
Well, you really didn't pay attention, did you, Randy?
I was busy.
That's all right. The Wolves acquired the draft rights to the number 33 overall pick that the San Antonio Spurs drafted. That is a forward by the name of Leonard Miller. And the Wolves gave up 2 future second-round picks for Leonard Miller.
Okay.
Boy, when will the Wolves next have a first-round draft pick? Does anyone know the answer to that question?
I think it's 4 years from now.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
Didn't they give up 4 first-rounders?
You'd have to look that up. The pain has
Were
got
they
the...
all consecutive picks?
Yeah. Yes.
Were they conditional, though? Where,
I
like, they
don't-
keep the pick if it's within...
I am not 100% sure, but I don't think so.
Well, that's something. 4 years from now. I'm going to go along with that, Brad Ryder. If you know that Jim and John Paxson were twins, and you probably know the answer to that one, too. That's miserable.
That's really miserable.
Yeah, it looks like Minnesota traded 4 first-round picks, 1 first-round swap, the draft rights to the Rookie of the Year candidate.
It was a pile.
Are they consecutive years, though? Do you see that, Waffle?
Not yet.
It was certainly a pile. We all know that. And we certainly, so far, don't look like we got
It's
much
a
in
pile,
return.
all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Here's the joke going around. The Toronto Raptors picked an 80-inch dick in the NBA draft.
Whoa.
With the number 13 pick, the Raptors selected 6'8" guard Grady Dick out of Kansas. Or 80 inches of dick is what folks are going with.
You have to. That's too fun.
No, I interrupt. A buddy just texted me and corrected me a little bit. It's an odd numbered years. So it's this year, 25, 27, and 29.
Oh,
Okay.
so the pain
Yeah,
can
so it's
last
not-
for even
it's not
longer.
Right.
But it's not consecutive, though. That's
Right. It's every other year for the next 7 years.
Right. Back to Grady Dick. They say there's a lot to like about Dick. He plays hard. So he was the 13th pick. They say if you were...
13.
You know Randy's on vacation when he wants to get involved in the 13 chant.
He's been jumping on the
I
bandwagon.
have. Give me credit.
Yeah,
right,
he
Josh?
deserves some credit.
He was the 13th overall pick from Toronto, like I mentioned. If you were watching last night's draft, they say here for a while it seemed like we might see Grady become a Magic Dick or potentially a Thunder Dick.
Not a Wizard Dick?
Oh, my God.
I hear he's kind of a straight shooter. He tells it like it is.
Oh, my God.
They say, but Toronto waited, biting their lip until Dick arrived at their spot.
Oh, my God.
They say Toronto hasn't had a Dick this famous since Drake.
Oh, my God.
Some are saying it was a big night in Canada. The
Covers the
cone.
paint well.
Now, what is that supposed to mean, Brad?
I don't know.
You don't even know what that means.
No.
Oh, the cone. Lots going on with the cone lately,
Yeah,
huh?
he's leaving again.
You guys know what I mean? Like in practice, they've got those orange things, the cone. Chris Paul was a Washington Wizard for a few hours, and then he was part of a trade yesterday to send him over to Golden State, and Jordan Poole
How about that?
goes over to Washington along with some future, what they call here, draft assets.
I think Golden State just completely lost confidence in Jordan Poole during the playoffs.
Was he not great? I didn't
Well, yeah, but he's 24. I mean, he had a...
And the
before
cone is like Cubby's age at this point.
Before the playoffs this year, he was like one of the better 6 men in the league, and they decided they were parting ways.
There were a lot of internal issues there, I think, with teammates. Not only Draymond Green, but some other guys, too.
Did Jordan Poole ever have any problems with any of his teammates?
Yeah.
Like the time when Draymond Green could have easily killed him at practice?
Yeah.
Now, I don't get involved in this kind of stuff, social media, but I thought it was funny that, from what I understand, minutes after Jordan Poole was told he was traded away from Golden State, he unfriended Draymond Green on social media. That's what you do to a guy who cheap-shotted you and could have probably killed you with a punch. But no, Draymond Green's such a great basketball player.
Didn't Draymond Green become a free agent?
I think he is.
I thought I read somewhere where he's now a free agent, which The best thing Golden State can do is just let him walk away.
What a terrific win for the Twins yesterday. I was saying earlier, God, I wish I could have seen this play out, for a night game. I'm not much for day games. I like to sleep and other things.
So much for that streak, right?
Well, yeah, they went ahead. We were just talking yesterday how great it would be if they could split this series, and they did, it convincingly as hell. Or convincing as hell, however you.
But also, the All-Star breaks the streak.
Oh, yes, that streak. Yes, tell us about that again, Randy.
Well, that streak was, I think it was at 1,900 days.
Yes.
Heading into last night, and Joe Ryan throws 9 innings, complete game, shutout.
Mm-hmm.
But just the fact they threw 9 innings breaks that streak of they were the last team to have a pitcher 5 years worth throw 9 consecutive innings in one game.
They were the last team by a long way.
By a long way.
June 7th, 2018.
We talked about what the different factors, and the overriding one is this was kind of the Twins' philosophy. They're just not going to let guys go very long, and they did give Ryan a little bit of a leash. He pitched so well yesterday. I mean, it was amazing. No walks, 9 strikeouts, 112 pitches. I mean,
it was beautiful.
I'm going to say it again. The guy's an all-star. He deserves to be in the all-star game.
It was a beautiful performance. And Byron Buxton is clubbing the baseball now after being he was 0 for 24 at one point. He hit 2 home runs yesterday.
That's just contact, but solid contact down the line and gone. Another no-doubter. And Buxton has his 12th. Here's another blast, left center field. He really tagged this one. Wow. Into the second deck, over the bullpen. He may have outdone his first inning home run with that one.
Well, the first one was 466. This one was 465.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, Jordan, how do you say his name, the other guy? Justin Morneau. He wasn't kidding around. Buck's first dong, 466 foot. His second was 465.
So he's the first player with 2 460-foot home runs in a game since 2015.
Mm-hmm. Correa showed his own dong. It was a great game.
No, he didn't show it.
Great game. And now there's some promise going into this weekend series in Detroit. There's some promise. They start tonight, 1st to 3, 5:40 is the start time on Valley Sports North. Kente Maeda is back.
I don't know if Rocco's got a sense of humor or not, but did you notice who he actually had Emilio Pagan up in the bullpen in the 9th inning yesterday? If he just said to his pitching coach, just get him up, just see what people say.
Speaking of pitchers and the Twins, they signed a former Cy Young Award winner to try to see if they can get him right and maybe throw some real innings. Dallas Keuchel, Cy Young Award winner from 2015.
Okay.
He's been a little bit broken lately, but add Dallas Keuchel to the long list of possibly over-the-hill starters that the Twins have tried to.
Well, maybe they look at that as some sort of insurance policy. If the guy can throw some innings, if they get an injury along the way, or they get deeper into a playoff situation where they need some experience, maybe the guy's got a few innings in him. We'll see. It's kind of like Steve Carlton back in the day. When the Twins went out and got Steve Carlton, all they really wanted was the guy's experience more than anything else. So.
Boy, I'm getting more and more worried about Deion Sanders.
Yeah, he's in the hospital again.
I read a couple of different stories on Deion Sanders. I mean, not that I was the biggest primetime fan in the world, but my God, what this man is going through is terrible. I read that he's slated to have emergency surgery this morning after a blood clot was discovered in his groin.
Oh, scary.
Another story says he'll have to have
his foot removed, right?
Well, that's something we mentioned a couple days ago, but there's a separate report saying he's also going to have blood clots removed from both of his legs. But like we've mentioned, he's had toes amputated already because of this blood circulation problem. There was a doctor who told him that he may lose a foot in the future. This is all very concerning. I guess one of his best buddies, beloved former NFLer Adam Pac-Man Jones, Remember how everybody loved him?
Oh,
sure.
Loved
of course.
I guess Pac-Man Jones was on the Pat McAfee show, and do you have audio?
Yeah,
of what
it's kind of funny what he said.
Yeah, he says something funny.
Like you said, they're buddies.
Yeah.
There is some news coming out of Colorado about Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. I want to make sure I get this right. You were talking directly to him. A blood clot has been found in his groin.
Yes.
And he has like emergency surgery happening tomorrow.
Yep, 6 a.m.
Hey, Coach, come on now.
Peace and peace.
We're pulling for you, Coach. We are pulling for you. Please let him know that the entire football world is like, come on, Prime. You got this.
I had a chance to talk to him this morning. I said, man, I hope they don't have to cut off your That's what I told him.
Yeah.
I said, bro, it'll be bad if they have to cut off your bro. Just cut the leg off.
Is that what they meant by cutting off a foot?
Does he have a foot to spare?
I'd like that rumor about me.
I hope they don't have to cut your D off. Pac-Man Jones said to Prime, or excuse me, as a couple listeners have pointed out via text, excuse me, Coach Prime.
Yes, Coach Prime.
He'd be going under the knife right now.
Yeah, it is Friday morning. Yeah. That reminds me of one of my dad's best friends. My dad's best friend's dad, if you can follow that, was quite elderly, ended up in the hospital, eventually died. These things happen. But my dad went to visit this old timer, and there he was laid out, you know, with the oxygen doing this and the different how do you call it? Apparatuses, you know, keeping him going.
Yep.
And my dad said to the old timer, well, what'd they say? And the old timer said, well, they told me I have acute angina. And my dad said, well, that's good news because you got ugly boobs. Where am I going?
God.
And then the guy died. Minutes later, he died.
Oh, my God.
Of laughter, I bet.
Oh, God, my dad could get this old guy laughing so badly that we had to get the oxygen tank out.
That guy?
We'd go on fishing trips. And the old man's got an oxygen. That kind of a thing. And my dad would get him laughing, and then my dad's friend, the old-timer's son, would be, damn it, now we got to get the oxygen tank out. Do you care about this? UFC President Dana White says that Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg are serious about fighting in a cage.
What he said is, Mark Zuckerberg responded with, send me location, which is something that Khabib Nurmagomedov says when people challenge him. That was what send me location meant. I was talking to both Elon and Mark last night. Both guys are absolutely dead serious about this. They both said, yeah, we'll do it. They both want to do it. This would be the biggest fight ever in the history of the world. It would break all pay-per-view records. These guys would raise hundreds of millions of dollars for charity. You don't have to be a fight fan to be interested in this fight. Everybody would want to see it.
I wouldn't want to see it. I like the charity aspect, but why would I want to watch?
I actually think that would be interesting.
I do as well.
I do too.
You just hear
I think that
cash register sound effects every landed hit.
Well, I don't know what either of these guys look like. Are they athletes?
No. I mean, Elon Musk
That makes it even better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see where you're going with that.
But oh my God, Zuckerberg, he does do jujitsu.
Oh.
And supposedly he's pretty decent at it.
He's like 140 pounds.
That's the thing. So Musk is bigger than he is.
He's like 6'2" and 190 or something.
He's got the size on him.
Well, that's cute. All right. We'll hold our breath for that. Let's, speaking of fighting, let's get the boys ready to fight it out here, Wapple. Make a little Muppet fist and crush that Dad Fights theme song button. Every Friday, we match up the Ass Man Randy Shaver and his arch rival, the Lonely Boy Brad Ryder, for a trivia showdown. We call it Dad Fights. Today's Dad Fights part 135. We've quizzed the boys on all different types of subjects along the way. Movies, music, television. Sports is their specialty. Would you say that, boys?
Sports
is
they're very good at it.
Yeah,
very good at a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, not wrestling or hockey.
No.
Oh, Randy shocked everyone with how well he did at the hockey.
Or television or movies. Or music. Last night, we were just talking about last night. Via the NBA draft, fans welcomed in a fresh batch of rookies to the league. Most of whom we've never heard of. This morning for Dad Fights FN 135, we're going to test your knowledge on NBA players who had terrific rookie seasons. How many of these young bucks who were drafted last night, how many of them are going to come out the gates hot? How many of them are going to fall flat on their face? We'll see. Back in the 60s, the NBA started naming all rookie teams to give a little credit to the young fellas who came out there in their first year and played well. Since then, sometime in the 80s, they went ahead and created all rookie first and second teams. So once the game kicks in today, we're going to throw some hints and information at you to try and help you guess which past terrific NBA rookie we're talking about. We'll give you the hints and the information. You name the sumbitch. I think we have one or two rookies of the year here in today's contest. The rest were named to the NBA all-rookie team or teams in, obviously, their first year in the NBA. You following all that, boys?
I think so.
Sure.
What a hell of an accomplishment to be on the first or second all-rookie team. So the contest will be head-to-head. You're looking to be the first to shout out the correct answer. If you're correct, you'll hear the bell. That means you got a point. If you're incorrect, does anybody feel like trying out a new sound today?
I'm always down.
For the incorrect one, what about?
Yes, for
draft sound? That takes a long time.
Takes a while, and it sounds so positive.
You're right.
Okay, usually we do the Costco intercom fart. If you're incorrect, that means you got no points. But if anyone comes up with an alternate sound along the way, just looking to mix it up. It's Friday. Ooh, that wasn't
like
bad.
That one?
I like that.
How about this? Oh, that's the same one. We could do this.
That's weird.
Ashley's saying Ron.
Ron! Ron! You can steal a point if your opponent wets the bed and answers incorrectly.
Whoops.
Ooh. And the Toronto Raptors select Ronnie Dick. What was his name again?
Grady Dick.
Grady Dick. 10 challenges plus a tiebreaker if needed. That's how this operates. Here we go. Bend your knees at the waist, Jesus, with today's official introductions.
This is Bend Your Knees at the Waist, Jesus, coming to you from Shakopee, Minnesota. Originally from Nick's favorite vacation destination, Hayward, by God, Wisconsin. Father to one adorable baby boy, allegedly, and husband to a smoking hot wife. Also allegedly. Time for today's lineup. We have a guy known for his previous employment as a sexual education teacher. I guess not all jobs require personal experience. Better known by some as Luke's father, it's the heavy breather, Brad, writer, and a guy who needs a CDL for his dump truck of an ass, and well known by the ladies in the retirement community as the Jello Cup Pimp. It's Randy Shaver. If I was a betting man, I'd put my money on the second one. This is Dad Fights 135.
The Jello Cup Pimp.
That was good.
We have some suggestions if we want to, if there are any incorrect answers. First things first, there has to be an incorrect answer for us to use the long-running, and I'm not trying to be cute with that, Costco intercom fart sound effect. Some alternate options, according to our listeners. Do we have, listener says, do we have a screaming goat or do we have the Frau Blucher anywhere nearby? Oh, God. Or another suggestion has been Kawhi Leonard's laugh.
That's good.
Okay. If they fall into place, great. If not, we can deal with the fart. The fart is fun, isn't it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Still
It's
fun.
fun. It's still fun.
All these years. So again, Dad Fights 135, Randy and Brad, the all-rookie team edition. We'll give you a little bit of info. You try to name these outstanding NBA rookies.
All right, what do you want to do? Here's Kawhi Leonard's laugh.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
That or
We'll do
Costco?
Let's go.
Let's do the Kawhi
We'll
Leonard.
go Kawhi today.
Kawhi for incorrect answer.
Well, it's NBA related what we're doing here.
Yep,
So
that works. That works. All right, question number 1. Dad Fights 135.
Mm-hmm.
This big man, born in the Bahamas, made the NBA All-Rookie team in 1978 after
Michael Thompson.
Didn't even need Kawhi.
Yep, good one.
Drafted first overall following a great college career in Dinkytown. He's the only Gopher ever to be selected with the number 1 overall pick. The next highest was Kevin McHale, who, with the Celtics, they took him 3rd in 1980.
Michael Thompson. What a great player.
Yes, he was.
What a great player. Big, strong dude.
Produced a couple of great athletes, too.
Yeah.
I was hoping we wouldn't bring that up, but sure.
Well, you can talk about the baseball player if you want.
Oh, that's right. He's got the son.
For the Dodgers.
1-0 Brad Ryder already. You keeping track of this, Wapple?
What was the score?
Oh.
We lost Wapple.
Here we go.
Are you looking up Dallas Keuchel's wife? Yeah. The Brotherhood's asking us to look her up.
Dallas Keuchel's wife is what we should be looking up?
Oh, hot mama.
Why didn't they tell us this when we were talking about Dallas Keuchel?
They did. You missed it.
Okay. Well, if you feel free to show me a picture along the way, Josh, if you don't think it would distract me too much from dad fights.
1-0 Brad.
1-0 Brad.
Nice work, Waffle.
Here's challenge number 2. A highly touted prospect out of Kentucky. This player made the all-rookie team in 1984. He went on to have a disappointing career plagued by injuries and eventually became the answer to one of the most
Sam Bowie.
Eventually, thank you, and correct, Brad Ryder. Eventually became the answer to one of the most interesting trivia questions in sports history. Who did the Portland Trailblazers draft instead of that world-class prick Michael Jordan? And the answer is Sam Bowie. And he did have a solid role. Obviously, he made the all-rookie team.
Yeah,
and then it just
solid.
and then it just was terrible.
You can't compare it to
I think he got
who they could have picked, though. He did, yeah.
What were you just saying? I'm sorry?
No, I just said you can't compare his career to Jordan's. That's why it's always going to be.
Oh, I think you
like
can
a bust.
easily compare it to Michael Jordan's. No, of course you can't.
It's like when we talk about Curry for the Timberwolves. Same thing.
Yeah, it is. He said at one point or another he lied to the team doctors in Portland before the draft about the extent of how bad his knees were.
Oh, yeah, you can't do that.
He said at one point the doctor tapped his knee and he had to hide that he was in incredible pain.
Oh, man. Just murdering your body to play.
Dallas Keuchel's wife.
I know, right?
Are you kidding me? Jeez, Louise. And he looks like Triple H's younger brother. Just for the record, that's not that great.
Well, we got to hurry up and get this over with so I can go look.
Woo-wee and wah-wee-wee-wah.
I wish I was a Cy Young Award winner.
Yeah. It's 2-0 Brad Ryder.
Wow. Yeah, everybody's looking her up?
My God. That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's something else.
I'm not yet. I'm not in front of a computer. I will be, though.
Yeah, I bet you will.
You might run into her at, like, Cub Foods or something when they move.
In Egan? Sure.
He made the all-rookie team in 1992 after getting drafted 2nd overall by the Hornets. His career in Charlotte only lasted...
Larry Johnson.
Alonzo Mourning.
Hey,
well, let's do this in order.
We got to go. That's to Brad.
That's for Brad's answer.
And then what do we do for Randy?
And this is for Randy's answer.
Alonzo Mourning is correct. The 1992 NBA draft is still tough for longtime Wolves fans. First
right
pick,
before Leitner.
Shaq. 2nd pick, Alonzo. 3rd, Christian Leitner to the Wolves.
Yep, right before the Wolves.
I might have had the wrong draft even.
It happens, Brad Ryder. It happens. But, I mean, Danalis here. I'm not here to... Dana's not here for me to holler at him, but, I mean, I don't remember many of us reeling when Christian Leitner was picked number 3. He was the greatest college basketball player of all time.
That's the way the ping pong balls went.
That's right.
Of course. Yeah.
The Wolves were clearly the worst team in the NBA at that point. And deserved the number 1 pick.
Oh, imagine if Shaq would have came here.
Oh, my gosh.
Can't even.
Well, look at the draft. That year, Leitner goes number 3. I think Gugliotta was in that draft.
I think you're right.
I think...
Out of what college? Go.
NC State,
That's
right?
NC State.
I think Anthony Peeler was in that draft, too.
Hey, I'm Eskimo Brothers with him. But here's the deal. Kind of like the Steph Curry thing.
Yes.
If Shaq would have been picked by the Timberwolves, Number 1, 1992. How long do you think he would have played here?
Oh, I think he would have played here.
Really? For a long time?
Maybe as long as he did with the Magic, maybe.
Yeah, what
I think
was that?
long enough to do something to get
The Magic made the finals with him.
Yeah, they did, and they got swept by my mighty Houston. Okay, that's a good one. Randy's on the board with Alonzo Mourning. It's 2-1 Brad. He was originally drafted 6th overall in 2000 plus 6 by our beloved Timberwolves. But on draft day, his rights were traded by the Wolves.
Brandon Roy.
We got to do it again. Let's do what we did last time.
All right, start with Brad.
This is for Brad's answer. And this is for Randy's answer. You were both right on top of it, and it might have been confusing for listeners because the names were so similar.
Yeah.
Brad Ryder said Randy Foy. That is
That's who
incorrect.
they ended up with.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
Randy Shaver said Brandon Roy.
That's right. That's who they drafted.
In his first year in the league, he landed both all-rookie team accolades and was obviously named Rookie of the Year. Brandon Roy.
That whole time I just heard oi.
Oi.
The Wolves traded his rights in order to pick 7th. And with that, they went with Randy Foy out of Villanova. Brandon Roy, sadly, was forced to retire just 5 years later with knee issues. He had a failed comeback with the Wolves before retiring for good. But really, I remember a lot about Brandon Roy coming out of college. He had more talent and potential than maybe anyone else in the draft that year. And injuries just ruined it for him. And I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah.
Do you remember does everyone or anyone remember the fascinating, strange but true detail about Randy Foy?
Oh, gosh. No.
Check this up. Look this up. I'm 99.9% sure I'm correct about this. His insides were reversed.
What?
Oh.
His heart was on the right side of his chest.
Oh, wow.
Everything on his insides was reversed from what you
right side to left side?
Yes.
I feel so dumb. I immediately thought like top to bottom. I was like, how's that even possible?
What do you mean? What were you thinking?
Like that his intestines were like up in his chest and his heart was down where his stomach should be. Yeah.
Well, right, Josh? It's a how do you call it? It's a rare, not a disease. What's the word I'm looking for? Condition.
Condition, yeah. Sports Illustrated did an article on it.
I thought I had never heard of that before.
I've never heard of
Randy Foy came to town. I thought that was absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, left to right, not north to south, actually.
Right.
He's picturing his eyes where his balls are supposed to be.
Oh. We're tied at 2 correct answers, aren't we, Wapple?
Yep.
Although he never became the household name like his fellow 1978 draft class members Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, this center out of San Francisco played 15 seasons in the NBA, including winning 3 championships in the 90s with the Bulls.
Center, he said, a center. Won 3 titles with the Bulls.
Drafted in 1978.
He shot free throws kind of weird.
Bill Cartwright.
No. Oh, my God. That was too long. Where was
Nope.
the bell?
I got in.
Where was the bell?
Waffle, yeah, you got to run the timer with the fart.
Bell?
Come on. I got it.
That was way too long.
It's not my fault. I got it right. I got under the bell.
Way too long.
Where was it, Waffle?
Children, please.
I was going to hit it, and then Nick started explaining more, so I backed off of it and then hit it when Brad answered.
No. You don't do that.
Yes.
Wapple is the official scorekeeper and timekeeper, so he decided to give you boys a little leeway. What's the big problem? 3-2 Brad. If you
I think people may have forgotten where we were. Bill Cartwright was the correct answer.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I got caught up in the yelling,
Yeah,
Josh.
I know. I think people did. He ended up coaching the Bulls in the early 2000s, fired just 14 games into his 3rd year. According to his Wikipedia page, his hobbies include playing guitar and tinkering with transistor radios.
Does he play the guitar?
I guess so.
Don't you remember that Bill Cartwright kind of had a little hitch in his free throw delivery?
That's actually what gave it away to me.
Yeah, look it up.
Yeah.
He had a little gray in his goatee. I liked Bill Cartwright. 3-2 Brad. Long before his son played hoops for the Golden Gophers, This 7'4" big man was drafted with the number 1 overall pick by the Houston Rockets in 1983.
Jim Peterson.
Nope.
I know that it's
Ralph Sampson.
Oh, that's a good one. I couldn't think of anybody other than Jim Pete.
It's been a pattern this morning where Ryder says something stupid
Yeah.
and then Randy comes. Ralph Sampson is correct, Brad, and we're tied at 3. Ralph Sampson, Part 3, played 4 years with the Gophers and went undrafted in 2012. Then he went to Europe. But Ralph, Part 1, or maybe he was Part 2. Anyway, Ralph, the older Ralph, boy, was he impossible to stop in college.
He's Wembanyama kind of reminds me of Ralph Sampson.
They are built similarly.
Yeah, he reminds me of him.
Yeah. So we are tied at 3 now, is that correct?
Yep.
Nice job, Randy Shaver, with that answer.
This current college basketball coach made the all-rookie team in 1993 for the Magic. He went on to make 4...
Penny Hardaway.
That is the correct answer. Anthony Penny Hardaway. His nickname came as a result of his grandmother's calling him pretty with a southern drawl, thus sounding like Penny.
That's cute. Yeah, he had a great run there for a while.
Yes, he did.
Penny and Shaq together.
Yep.
That makes it 4-3, Brad.
Oh boy.
All right. 4-3, Brad. What? Oh boy, what?
It should be 3-3.
Oh,
Stop it.
Just
If you would have said Bill
Bob was so
Cartwright.
slow on the switch this morning. It's the birthday hangover.
Such an evil laugh.
It's the birthday hangover, man. It's
if you would have said it under the bell, you would be just.
No, it's a.
Yes, he would. He'd be
Yes,
buying
he
a
would.
Bill Cartwright jersey on eBay right now.
Bless it.
Had he said Bill Cartwright, he would. Okay, here we go. 4-3.
I just got Randy one and I'm sending it to him. It's going to haunt him.
You got Randy what?
A jersey.
Bill
A
Cartwright.
Bill Cartwright jersey?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. At just 18 years and 132 days old, he became the youngest ever European-born player to be selected in the NBA draft in 1999. Despite his age, he made the all-rookie team playing for the Utah Jazz with one of the coolest nicknames in sports history, AK-47. He made his...
Andre Kirilenko.
That was Brad.
Yep.
That was stressful.
Did anyone make out what Randy exactly said?
Oh, gosh.
I think he said, Diddy Renko. Brad, that's a good one. Andre Kirilenko. And Josh, remember how we used to fawn over that nickname?
Yeah, AK-47.
He wore jersey number 47. His initials were AK.
Genius.
Played 1 season with the Timberwolves. That's right. Andre Kirilenko. And excitingly, we are tied at 4, are we not?
Oh, no.
I think it's
It is
5-3.
Oh, sorry. 5-3, Brad. One more little note on Andre Kirilenko. And if you remember him, you probably already heard this, but for those who haven't, he married a Russian pop star. And during his playing days, she said he was allowed to sleep with another woman once a year.
Yep, I remember that too.
She said, I'm sure in a broken... Yeah. I'm sure she said this in a broken, sexy Russian accent. She said, what's forbidden is always desirable, and athletes, particularly men, are susceptible to all the things they are offered. I don't know what she really means by that, but she allowed the guy to get a piece once a year.
Once a year. Man, oh man.
So Brad can put it away.
All the marbles right here, boys. Drafted 6th overall by the Kings in 1987, this player made the all-rookie team, eventually winning 2 titles with the Rockets. Today,
Fatality.
You win. Kenny Smith. One of my favorites of all time, Brad Ryder, Kenny Smith.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I knew you were a fan. I didn't know he was one of your all-time favorites.
Well, he was part of those Rockets teams that won back-to-back titles, 94 and 95. I think I could name you every member of that roster. But because of Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon being my favorite all-time basketball player, I thought that was so great to see them win back-to-back titles with Kenny Smith and Vernon Maxwell and Robert Horry and Otis Thorpe and Carl Herrera and Sam Cassell. And Pete Chilcutt Who am I missing? Oh, Mario Ellie.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Scott Brooks was on that roster.
Scotty Brooks.
Nice win. You guys were great today.
That was a good topic.
That was fun. Good job, Brad.
Nice win for Brad Ryder. And someday, Randy, someday.
Well, I mean,
Wapple's going to let that buzzer go forever, and you're not going to mind.
I believe that's happened a few times, in fact.
I know that the birthday hangover just killed me today. The Wapple birthday hangover killed
If you were listening a few minutes ago, you'll get this joke. Someone texted in and said, is Ashley picturing Randy Foy shoving food up his butt? Thanks, you guys. We'll talk to you next week.
See ya.
We'll be right back on the program ski.
There's a douchiness to them. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
CJ Ham for Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. When I'm on the field, I can take anything. But at home with my family, we like everything to be comfortable. That's why I trust the pros at Standard. They've been keeping Minnesotans like me comfortable for over 90 years.
Is your cooling system making strange noises or not cooling properly? Don't wait for an AC breakdown this summer. Get a free in-home estimate with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Schedule your appointment today at standardheating.com.
The only really way to start to get rid of them is to vacuum them up, sweep them up, put them in a large garbage can, and then just kind of throw them away.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
That sounds about right. Damned if we're not the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show, and damned if we're not cruising toward getting the F out of here shortly. It's 8:33. Appreciate listening. And another thank you for all the great pet pictures that you sent off to us this morning. We started talking about dogs and pets and everything earlier, and we thought, what the hell? We had so much fun with this 5-6 months ago, having our listeners send in pictures of their pets and, let us know what their names are. We decided to do it again. It's been heartwarming. I've loved it. Seeing all the pictures of all the dogs and cats and different pets in the brother and sisterhood. I said it earlier, I don't like to play favorites or pick favorites, but my one I saw recently, Josh, I can't get out of my head. I think my favorite pet so far this morning has been a cat named Snicky Poo.
Snicky Poo, what stands out?
He was laying on the floor kind of looking like he was all high on catnip. I got a little crush on Snicky Poo.
What about the cat that was riding the goat earlier?
There was Chubbs, the goat riding kitty, as well. I'm a big fan, but no, thank you. It's been great.
Yeah, this has been fun.
Absolutely great. As I said, we're going to be leaving out of here soon. The end of our work week is near. We were jaw-jacking earlier about a strange but true job. This is, I think, what got us talking about dogs and pets. We were talking about a strange but true job out there. Dog food tester. A human being, not a dog or a human being sits down and tastes new dog food products. Bones, canned food, dry food, biscuits, and treats. They do this to test for flavor and texture in comparison to rival dog food brands. I just don't know what I would do with all the diarrhea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you'd have to have a pretty cast iron stomach.
I mean, I'm sure you're not whipping down a plate full. You probably only have to take a little sample, but still, I mean, there are days when I can have a pickle out of nowhere and be in the bathroom for 45 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have a sensitive tummy.
I could not be You want to hear about a few more of these bizarre gigs? We love to talk about our jobs around here. Well, comparing what I do day to day, what you do day to day. We dig that type of conversation. So here are some more bizarre jobs. Maybe you didn't even know these were actual gigs. Professional sleeper. Now, I don't know about sleep, like going to bed at night, but naps, I'm the best in the county.
Yep, I can nap very well, but not good at the nighttime thing either.
I'm the greatest napper in the county. Ashley also can nap. Josh, I don't know how the hell you do it. You are not a napper. I would have gone completely mental years ago if it in this business at these hours if it wasn't for naps.
I can get up to maybe just shy of an hour.
That's not right.
But that not always. It's not consistent. Sometimes it just doesn't happen.
Is really what you guys do napping, though, if you sleep for like 4 or 5 hours?
Well, we don't sleep for 4 or 5 hours.
Okay, but sometimes if I turn my phone off, I can go 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, you are different.
Yeah.
You will stay my regular schedule is like 2.5 hours nap during the day and 2.5 hours sleep at night. That's the way I've been living life for decades. That's how it goes. That's just how it plays out for me. Let's get back to this professional sleeper. A hotel in Finland has hired a member of their staff as a professional sleeper to test the comfort of their beds. This individual sleeps in a different one of the hotel beds each night and then writes a review about her satisfaction with each one. I mean, I got tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
I'm emotional talking about how wonderful a job that would be.
You wanted at one point to be a carpet walker, did you not?
It's funny you remember that. When I was a kid, I'm watching television and some news channel threw on a story about a carpet walker. Maybe this is still a thing, but this is, when I was a young kid. Massive rolls of carpeting are spit out onto the floor. So it's kind of like a moving sidewalk. Are you following where I'm going with this? And there was a dude featured in this report with his little New Balance tennis shoes on, and he walks on the carpet. That's what he does all day, every day, and looks for flaws in the carpeting. He has a little remote control in his hand, and he hits a stop button if he sees a flaw, and then calls some grunt over to fix it. The grunt fixes the flaw, and then he hits the go button, and he walks. And I thought, number one, I thought that's probably all I'll be qualified for. But I thought, and the dude, by the way, in the news report, had his Walkman on. He's just listening to me. I thought wow, what a gig. What about a paint watcher?
Oh, boy.
Someone earns a living watching paint dry. So the old joke, you can't make fun of that, like watching paint dry. There's someone out there who actually does that for a living. This is in, how do you call it, the United Kingdom. He spends his days painting sheets of cardboard to test how long the new paint takes to dry and watching for changes in color and texture.
It sounds like after a while that would be miserable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I'd get so sick of it.
At first I'd think, that might be kind of just relaxing. You have not a lot of responsibility. I can handle that, but I bet after a while you go nuts.
Just tedious.
I think after a while, Josh, you'd be staring into the painted cardboard and you would see visions of you murdering innocent people with a chainsaw.
I'd be sniffing as many paint fumes as I could just to try and pass the time. Painfully Dry Humor Jesus wants to know, back on the topic of napping. Have you ever had a nap so good you wake up and think you missed the school bus, but it's a Saturday and you're in your 40s?
Yes.
We've definitely had that where you wake up and it's 5 p.m. in the winter, and it's dark, and you think, I'm 2 hours late for work. Mm-hmm. You just think you're in big trouble.
You think you're late for school, but it's a Saturday and you're in your 40s. But how about that? Guy watches paint dry. Okay. Another different kind of a gig that maybe you didn't know it was a thing. A full-time Netflix viewer. You guys watch a lot of television programming. Mm-hmm. You're up on all the current series, hearing the 3-4 of you go back and forth. Did you see this? Did you see? You guys would be great for this. Not that I want you to go anywhere. Netflix has hired someone to watch all of their content before it is available to the public. Their role is to review these programs and assign each program its correct tag. Okay? Drama.
Oh, okay.
Comedy. Stuck porn. And so that helps us mere mortal viewers find exactly what we're looking for.
Netflix is kind of streaky, though. They'll go for a little while. They'll have some of the better shows currently available, and then they'll have maybe 3 times as many really, really bad dumb shows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yep.
Let me ask you this now. You could easily, because I've heard you before, you could easily roll through your favorite Netflix programs or whatever vehicle gives you your programs. You could easily roll through your favorites. But let's say any of you were hired as a viewer like this, where you had to watch shows and categorize it and give it a review. What's something you've seen that was so bad that it would be straight up torture to sit through the entire series and have to review it and then label it?
Oh, good question.
I don't think I've ever had anything that bad.
I've definitely not made it through an entire series.
Yeah.
If it was that bad.
Something that would just, if you had to revisit it, it would be slightly torturous.
I guess like really, really graphic horror movies for me.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
You can't think of one in particular where you were going to vom?
No. Well, I guess a good one, that Terrifier. Everyone always talks about that, just bloody and makes you want to vomit.
Oh. Never saw it.
Yeah, I could never go through that.
Oh, yeah. How about, I think it was called Last House on the Left. I had to stop that. The
Yes.
woods scene, you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm not a yell at the TV guy, but I yelled at the TV. Okay, we get it!
Yup.
That was horrible.
That movie made a permanent imprint on my brain from when I watched it.
It's a great movie. That is a great movie.
I couldn't finish it.
But I understand why you might have squirmed a little bit during this one scene in the woods. It's horrible. It's brutal. But you can't think of a series that it would just be brutal for you, Josh?
No.
I can think of one, and I'm not even the kind of guy that watches series. Remember when I tried to dial into a series, the Wacky Boat, the Haunted Boat?
Oh, yeah. It wasn't too long ago. It was Netflix, too, I think.
The Wacky Boat. I don't want to do that again.
Like 18...
Yeah, I think there was a number.
1899.
Yeah, that was terrible. It was episode after episode, and I was waiting, is this going to go somewhere? And it never did, and I just turned it off. Don't watch The Wacky Boat.
It's not called the Wacky
Or 1899, whatever it's called.
Well, polish up your dog, schlong, because you're about to score. If your job is scoring, you'll never work a day in your life.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
I hear you. Booze Cruise tickets coming up. Cubby's going to dump them out here shortly. Get ready. You don't want to miss the Booze Cruise. You know, with the Wu-Tang Clan and everything.
They're not going to be on there.
Maybe I don't want to start that kind of trouble again.
But we want you on there. We want you on the boat.
We do. Be listening. Get yourself ready.
I've gotten in trouble for how bad I've wanted people to come on the boat. I gave away too many tickets.
Yes, you have.
I want you there.
How many more tickets did you give away than were to be allowed on that particular day?
Well, luckily, they were able to pause some other things, but,
for a minute, you thought you had...
I thought they were going to have to get another boat. Oh,
yeah.
We're going to need a bigger boat.
What movie? Jaws.
Never heard of the movie.
1975.
Did people ever bring that up? Jaws, yeah. So I had a situation where we were doing like one of those ticket blowouts at an event, and they had said, "Hey, you know what? You can give away pretty much as many pairs as you. Pretty much anybody that shows up, you can give away pairs."
Right.
And we were fortunate. A lot of people showed up. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. We had a blast. And then at the very end, they're like, "Okay, how many 4-packs did you give away?" I'm like, "What do you mean 4-packs?"
Oh.
They're like, "Yeah, how many 4-packs did you end up?" I was told pairs. So it was over double what they expected to give away. And that's not even just the math there. I mean, they just, in general, it was even if there were pairs, it was out of control. Or excuse me, 4-packs, it was out of control.
Yeah.
And so I had thought, well, I'm going to have to call people and say what an idiot I am. And thankfully, they were able to make it work. But that really, really sucked.
And you admittedly, you get anxious from time to time.
Well, and I didn't want to say no to anybody. They drove out there.
Yeah.
I imagine you probably envisioned that you were going to be fired. You get a little dramatic.
I didn't know how bad it was going to be. I thought it was trouble.
That's great. Well, be listening here in a handful of minutes. Cubby's going to get to some Booze Cruise tickets.
I'm giving away a 400-pack.
Oh.
Is that what that says here? No, 4-pack.
We were talking about some weird odd jobs. Maybe you didn't even know these effing jobs existed. We covered a professional sleeper, someone who watches paint dry. Not kidding. Someone who gets paid to just watch Netflix programs and then rate them and categorize them. Let me throw a few more your way before we skedaddle. A train pusher. It's not what you think, but it's almost as ridiculous. People in Japan are hired to push as many people onto a train as possible from the outside until the doors close.
Have you seen some of those videos?
That's scary.
I don't know if I have.
I mean, in some of them, I thought it was India, and maybe these were photoshopped. I don't know, but I've seen a few of them.
Is this where there's hundreds of people on the top of the train?
Like hanging off the side and on top. Yeah, you've seen that too.
Yes.
It almost looks like a zombie movie. Mm-hmm. Just being these trains attacked by zombies or something.
Your job is to grab strangers by the ass and push them as hard as you can. Get as many people in this friggin' train as possible. You're probably a little you're physically cooked by the end of the day.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah.
There are professional mourners. It's tradition in Southeast Asia, it says here, that a loud funeral will assist the dead as they travel through the afterlife. So professional mourners are hired to cry and weep loudly throughout a funeral service.
I've actually heard of this one from somewhere.
Did you hear about it from History?
I think I did.
Yeah.
Probably History Channel.
I could probably do that. I can make myself cry pretty easily.
Can you really?
Yeah.
I'll do it right now.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding. You don't have to.
I was going to say, you got to give me like a couple minutes.
All right.
I got an idea for you.
I don't want to see you cry. What's the idea?
Pull up your banking app on your phone.
Oh.
You know what? For the first time in a really long time, it's not making me too sad.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Take a good look at your family picture.
There you go. That might help.
Who out there would take this gig? You're a snake milker.
I guess if I was trained well.
Your job is...
I don't mind snakes. I kind of like snakes.
Yeah, you kind of like them. Your job is to collect the venom of poisonous snakes in jars so then doctors can come up with, how do you call it, the anti-venom. What, am I just walking through the jungle with a jar in my hand?
Here's snaky, snaky.
I want no part of that act. I don't know. This one might be the worst. An odor judge.
No.
I wouldn't like that very much.
Oh, I don't like bad breath. Bad breath makes me reel.
I love it.
Worse. Well, of course, maybe that was a silly statement, as opposed to the numerous people who enjoy bad breath.
But I get tired of hearing from those people.
Where I was going with that is bad breath will make me backpedal even faster than some other smells that a lot of people might find to be much worse. But if you are an odor judge, you test the effectiveness of new deodorant products. Odor judges are hired to smell volunteers' breath, they feet, and they armpits.
I could smell armpits and not be too grossed out.
Ooh, really? No,
I'm
no.
okay with that.
I could not.
You guys are not body odor?
Nope.
B.O.
Ooh.
You're not one of those people who, gets kind of turned on.
Oh, no. Nah, it's not a turn. I can handle that. Like that doesn't gross me out is maybe how I should put it.
Really?
It's not like I seek it out.
Ooh, good old-fashioned, pure body odor.
Oh, gross.
I'll run.
I wonder, Josh.
Not as bad as breath, but I'll run. Yes.
I wonder if it's because you have kids. Maybe that makes you more, kind of chill about that kind of stuff.
That is an interesting theory.
Well, I can tell you this. So, my youngest, you should meet him, Nick. He's your godson.
I should.
He a couple years ago, so he's 11 now, he could funk up the house with BO. Like, to the point where we brought him to the doctor going, is this okay? He's only 9. What's going on? And they had said, well, kids are going through puberty earlier, and maybe it's early signs. It's not bad anymore.
Ooh, that would trouble me.
It was weird. I mean, it was really weird.
You'd smell him coming down the hall?
Yeah, it was. I'm not joking. It was like if he's upstairs, the whole upstairs would smell like this, like oniony BO disgusting smell.
That is really disturbing.
Yeah. I almost tried to send him to a different country in a box, like mail him to a family that might be able to handle it.
Whatever it takes to get rid of that smell.
Yeah, I would have poked holes in it.
Of course you would.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad.
So you're smelling breath, you're smelling feet, you're smelling the armpits.
Have you guys ever heard of the focus groups for Taco Bell?
Focus groups for Taco Bell.
They go into the kitchens, the experimental kitchens, and try some of the stuff.
That'd be so cool to be that person.
That would be cool.
You taste test products for Taco Bell?
Yeah, so you walk in this little tiny box, and then they kind of have a video camera on you so they can record your facial expressions. And then you just try a bunch of different new foods that they're thinking about coming out with, and then give them a review.
That sounds awesome. They would see nothing but a smile on my face the whole time. I'm just happy to be there.
Maybe they don't want you then.
Yeah, I love everything.
Finally here, I don't like swimming. I don't like the ocean. I don't like being underwater, so I could never be a scuba diving pizza delivery man. There is at least one of these. There is at least one of these at an underwater hotel in Florida. They have a scuba diving pizza delivery man who supplies them with pizza by carrying them through the sea in a watertight case.
I've seen them do that. I also think it's so cool how you can order a pizza, out ice fishing, and then just some dude pulls up on a snowmobile and here's your pizza.
All right, from a quick Google search though, the salary of a scuba diving pizza delivery man, it can vary depending on where you are, how much experience, but it's usually $15 to $25 per hour. I don't think that's enough for me to get into an ocean.
Is that all that much different than a regular pizza delivery man or woman? I have no
idea.
idea.
If you get tipped better because of what you're
I would
doing.
hope so. Plus, you need different certifications. You're going to have to be able to scuba dive by yourself.
Yeah, you're kind of risking your life, right? Sharks are still a thing.
All right, so I was talking about my 9-year-old who used to be able to bring the funk with BO.
Well, what changed? What'd you do? Introduce him to Speed Stick? Or what?
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's kind of into deodorant now that he's getting older. He wants to make sure he smells nice for the ladies.
It naturally kind of went away?
Yeah, it just went away.
Phased out?
Just stopped. Union Mechanic Jesus said he has a daughter who's 3 and gets bad BO. Male Hucker Jesus.
God dang.
His youngest is 8 with the onion pits.
I am so glad that my sperm does not work and has never worked. I would be so thrown by that. I really would.
I was surprised.
Kids gross me out.
You don't like a lot of things about
there's a lot of things that are gross about them.
They're leaky. They can be stinky.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying.
Plus, they're stupid.
I'm a big fan, but I could see what you've made arguments that make sense to me.
Man, especially when you mention the whole level of your house smells like onion ass. Jesus,
that's gone away. Happy birthday to Redefine Jesus from No Hawk Welder Jesus. Happy 20th Coco from Mom and Dad, King Peter Jesus. Happy birthday to Big Ball of Bitch Jesus. Happy 28th to Fat Baby Welder Jesus. Happy weekend birthdays to both Ben and Bros. And as promised, before we get out of here, now on the Luther Bloomington Kia text line, if you text the word Captain to 651-989-9393, you got a shot at a 4-pack of tickets to the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show Booze Cruise, Friday, June 30th in Stillwater. This prize is furnished by Stillwater Riverboats and sponsored by Anytime Bail Bonds. And no worries if you don't win today. Starting on Monday, the only thing we're giving away all day from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. is 4 packs of tickets to the boat cruise.
Hey, how about that?
Yeah, plenty of opportunities coming up. Have a great weekend.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Don't wait for an AC breakdown this summer. Get a free in-home estimate with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Schedule your appointment today at standardheating.com.